And we are live. We're here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting chapter of A Tale D20 Presents Descent into the Void, Campaign 2, where seven friends join together to tell a story of mythic proportion. So, before we begin, let's go ahead and say hi to everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
How are you all doing today?
Salutations, everyone.
I'm pretty okay. Fantasy Grounds is working, got everything going.
No need to mince words. We're having slight technical difficulty with Fantasy Ground, but
No,
we got it.
I'm being genuine. Like
Oh!
it just started working. So
Yes!
I'm like logging in. It's loading, but like it downloaded everything it needed to. I got into the server. It's just loading up the game. So we'll see what happens next.
Awesome. Okay, I'm glad. So, well, let me know, and I can release your character.
Please do.
We can get that started. Let me actually do that right now. Sweet. But anything else? Adam, anything going on with you this week? How was your week going?
Hey, any day on this side of the grass is a good one, sir. Just happen to have what I have.
Awesome. Rachel, how about you? How's it going?
Oh, life is lovely. If you see me wiggling a lot, it's because I took a lot of bumps at wrestle school this week, and I'm fine. But I don't recommend falling on your back more than like once a week if you can help it. But then I did like 10 or 12. Haha, Pamadoos.
Ouchie. I mean, at least you're going through it, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm exchanging pain for joy, you know?
that's the Kievan way. But awesome. Glad that you are well, and no minds if your back it needs anything, you need to stretch, go right ahead, because we are safety and health first here. And finally, Travis, how are you doing today? How's your week been?
Oh, hello, everyone. I'm actually doing quite well. I am currently enjoying an extra long weekend. I took off Friday and I have Monday off. So this is a week of rest and relaxation for me. And it's because of good news. I accepted a new manager's position in my company. So I had to use vacation days for my old position or lose them. So I'm using them, baby. So all good news for me.
Awesome. Sweet. I'm so glad everyone's doing pretty good. Zach, do you have control of your character and all that again?
That I do.
Awesome sauce. All right, great. Some brief announcements before we begin. First off, foremost, obviously you can see that Katie and Ben are not here. Life happens and they're dealing with life issues, and of course that always comes first. So unfortunately we'll just see their characters' names for today, but we will definitely, or hopefully, if everything goes well, see them next time. Apparently, but specifically for next time, just let everyone know next week is PAX, so we will not be having a session because I will be at PAX there. We walk around handing out good stuff and mingling and just enjoying the sights of PAX. So if you're in PAX East next week, stop by and maybe you'll see me walking around with the TLD20 stickers and all that stuff. Also, the next 2 weeks after that, we have some vacations and people who will be out. So we're going to be most likely doing our Theros Gods and Glory session. If you remember back in the day, and also if you go to taily20.com, you will see that we have both podcasts and Twitch streams of our Theros saga. Basically, it is the Theros Mythic Odysseys series that was released by Dungeons & Dragons. Not too long ago. That's kind of in that Magic the Gathering world, where we mix in like Greek mythology / Percy Jackson meets Dungeons and Dragons. So you can catch that kind of West Marchy campaign most likely on April 2nd and April 9th. And then right after that, we were right back to continuing the story of Descent into the Void. Travis, do we have a Radiant Citadel on Monday?
Yes, we do. We have one on the 20th and I believe the 27th, and then we should be taking a break on the 3rd.
Awesome. And Zeki, do we have a storyboard this week as well? or next week?
We do actually. Let me check my schedule. It looks like coming up here we have on the 22nd we have Goblets and Gaze.
Ooh, nice.
So we'll be doing that at 7 p.m. That's going to be super exciting. Talking about some homebrew in Pathfinder, which, is super interesting to me because it's kind of like the other side of what I wanted to kind of talk about with No Nat Ones, which we are rescheduling, where we infer a lot of the fun lore in the actual game of Pathfinder itself. This time we're going to be looking at the homebrew and how that affects character creation and the story that they're creating over there. So it's going to be fun. Don't miss it on Wednesday.
Awesome. So please stop by twitch.tv/2020s here, obviously, to catch the great interview with Goblins and Gaze. And then Friday, we also are going to be with Hope for TTRPGs, and that is going to be at our At the Table show. We just had another one with Rich from Hatchling Games, which is awesome. We learned all about accessibility and learning sign language through TTRPG. They have an amazing system. I was kind of playing around with it on my own, and it's super cool. Like you basically pick a spellcaster of sorts, an element, and then from there you have your class grows, and you basically use hand signs and ASL and BSL to do the spells. And that's how you learn it. So if you're doing water, you do the sign for water and so on and so forth. So it's actually pretty awesome. So you can check out that stream up on YouTube. That should be posted. If not, I'll be posting it. Or right here on Twitch on our VOD, the At the Table. And then, of course, coming next is Hope for TTRPGs. We just get deeper into building a welcoming environment for everyone within the TTRPG community. That's also on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, with that being said, I think we got all the announcements done. I think we are ready. Are you guys ready to jump in some Descent into the Void?
Ready.
Awesome. So let's do this. So let's remove the bookmark and begin our epic tale of Attell D20 presents Descent into the Void, Campaign 2. Cue the intro. Alrighty, and we are back. So, to recap our last session of Descent into the Void, currently nameless circle who we've heard tons of names. Mucus on the block, Mew something, or anything in between, but currently your circle has finally established itself within the walls of the Fractal Sanctorum. There, you all had met each other after meeting with your Illuminator, your circle leader, Lucian, who seemed a very sullen and dark person, alleviating to several different forbidden places within the Fractal Sanctorum, one such being the Infinite Corridor, which you were definitely not to head to. With that being said, he told you all to not to bite off more you can chew, practice, and to develop into true hex breakers. So after you had completed some meals, Drina was out sick, but the rest of you went down, had delicious breakfast in the grand mess hall. After exploring the innards of the Fractal Sanctorum, you decided to go to the bulletin board where you can get quests according to your specific level, your circle. You're kind of like the bottom tier, both in your own levels as well as your levels of your circle. So you grabbed a class to learn all about how mana works and spell weaving with Professor Marius, as well as decided to get a F-class quest for the Artificer Omelia. Apparently, one of her golems seems to have gone awry, and she needs help dealing with that situation. So, grabbing those two, you went off and had a fantastic class with your circle excelled much more than the rest of the students in that class on the weaving of spellcraft. Thereby, you all receiving a boon. So, you have +1 to all your spell attacks for 24 hours, as well as +1 to your spell DCs. So, remember that when calculating your rolls and the rolls of your enemies. So with that all done, you went back to your rooms, collected your things, and decided to head off and complete this quest for Amelia. But not before you all stopped off at the Grand Reliquary to all get some special items. Now, last time we had ended with you all riding off into the city, the Isle of Eternity, but we're gonna flash back a bit. Flashback to experience the Grand Reliquary where you can go forth and rent your items. So, Spellbinders. As we rewind the clock a bit, you continue to walk through the grand, beautiful halls of the Fractal Centaurum before you make your way out and meet up with the stagecoach from the Drake. You bank a left down a long hall. There are many different doors that line the perimeter as you can see experiments and hear the classes, the sounds of students learning and teachers continuing to teach the students, until finally you turn another long corner and see a humongous archway going all about 50 feet and just as wide, and it's completely open. And the inside, you can see from the outside, is like a tall room, a wide room that's the size of a football field almost, and shelves that line all around it. And on these shelves are all these strange, glowing, magical items. In front of you, as you step inside, you see that there's a long desk stretching about 30 feet. And several students kind of walking in, looking at things on the shelves, bringing them up as two, sorry, my brain fart, two kobolds. One of kind of blue sapphire skin and one of deep ruby pop up with leather armaments on their bodies and from behind the desk and begin dealing with the students who bring up items. As you are now in the Grand Reliquary, what would you all like to do next?
I'd like to try out a ring. I have heard that there's several ones here capable of fantastical means that will enhance my casting.
Alrighty. It looks like the walls are everything is labeled meticulously, and there's even a legend, like almost like a tall pedestal with a large book on it that you can easily go through, and it has almost like a Dewey Decimal System. Everything has been placed meticulously, and you can easily find any item that you wish to try out. One thing that Lucian did tell you is that items that would be uncommon would probably be the limit that you are allowed to rent here. You can either go and ask and wait in line, one of the two kobolds, or you can grab what you want on your own and bring it up to the front desk. But the choice is yours.
Do we see or do I see a section for jewelry?
Yes. You go to the book and start parsing through it and find the section where jewelry is. There are staircases going up and down. This is a very large hall, and you can easily pass your way through the students who are looking on the shelves and make your way to the whole section of grand jewelry. And it is listed kind of uncommon, rare, very rare, and so on and so forth.
Cool. As we recall in this memory, because this has already happened.
Yes.
At the door, as he came in, and hops off and actually walks through here on foot, leaving Big Steve at the door. Yeah, Big Steve, stay right here. No talking to strangers. And
he stays.
Oh, fantastic! I produce a small treat from my sleeve and put it between his wide, loyal, and familiar jaws, and I give him a pet on top of his head.
Okay.
Now, I require something with a bit of elegance to it. We need to succeed, but I have an image to preserve after all.
All right. Anything particular you're looking for, or do you wish to speak with one of the kobolds?
In particular, I am looking for Eyes of the Eagle.
Eyes of the Eagle. Okay. So you go ahead and start searching the book as well, and you can easily find in no time of all exactly the section where the Eyes of the Eagles are. You see that it's located in an area for wearable items, as well as attunement items, and can easily guide yourself there and pick them up if you wish. It seems like all the uncommon items are not locked, but everything else is locked up in a glass case of some kind.
How many other students are in here grabbing stuff? Is it like jam-packed? Are people like just grabbing whatever they want?
I would say at this point, probably about 10 or 15 students. I mean, in the grand scheme of the room, it is, you're all just kind of drops of water. But you do see some other students just grabbing things, or asking the kobolds to open up the glass cases. It just seems to be some type of interaction before they go up. Yeah, sure, and bring it back to the desk. But you can totally grab the Eyes of Eagle if you so choose.
I imagine that students who are a little bit more well off would have access to their own weapons, tools, and magical items. Derek of House Zen, I imagine you have, closets full of materials like this?
It's not as you describe. We don't just have pearls of power as I pick one up, like these just lying around in baskets in our home. They're used for the betterment of society. We have only what we need. And I look at the lockbox of rings in front of me and then look over at the pearl that I'm now have to use instead, and I'll take one and sort of affix it to one of my rings that I have, and say, I guess make do with what we are allowed to have.
Oh, a bit different from some of the royals I've met in the past. Their extravagance seemed to be more self-serving.
Yes, that's because we live in a civil society here. We do not live in a fascist oligarchy like other places.
Well, at least we are at this point happy that the Citadel has given their kindness and their extended their wealth to us, all humble students.
Well, don't forget there is a return policy. These are not gifts given. They are precious items lent and expected to be returned whole. Ink, have you decided what you're getting?
Well, to be honest, I am vastly overwhelmed at the selections available. I have often not found myself in repositories this large. In the desert, you can't really build buildings this big.
Where can I look at items, GM?
In Fantasy Grounds, if you wish to look at an item, you just simply see over to the right. You'll notice that you have a whole bunch of different selectables, you could say. So if you go down to where it says campaign and open it up, you'll have encounters, images, and then the third one says items.
Items. I love it.
And then when you open that up, you can go down to where it says rarity, and to the right, you can hit that little arrow button, and then filter it so it's uncommon. Or whatever you would like. And then from there, it's all alphabetical order.
Love it.
I should also mention at the top, you can say it's if you want an armor or a weapon, you can select that as well. Or there's type at the very bottom, where you can select adventuring gear, necklace, potion, so on and so forth. So you can really get down to the nitty-gritty in this system.
Or if there's something in like the DMG or whatever that you know of.
Yeah.
Cool. Ink very softly approaches one of the kobolds and says, "May I please check out the Silver Quill primer? Thank you very much. I would love to do some reading on my chosen track. Thank you." So I'm gonna grab the silver. I'm gonna start with the Silver Quill primer.
Alrighty.
'Cause books.
All right. So you walk up to the desk, and popping up behind it is a very small, draconic-looking creature, a kobold. You all are used to them and will recognize them. The kobold is dressed in kind of like a leather armor. And with a white tunic underneath it, as the ruby one pops up and says, welcome. Oh, yeah, the Silver Quill Primer. Yes, we do have those. I'm sorry, but a prerequisite is that you do follow that curricula. Are you a Silver Quill member?
Yes, I am. Rhetoric, am I right?
Correct. Then, let's see here. I just need to confirm your identity. Would you mind just placing your thumbprint right there on that inkwell? Don't worry, it washes off very quickly. As you look to the left and see just like almost like a stamp, kind of like that inky stamp, the print that you can easily put your finger in to get a little black on your thumb or whatever finger you use. Just right there.
Ink does that.
Okay. And then you see the kobold then pick up your hand for you from there as you get like a blotch of black on your finger, and then like forcibly place your finger down on a parchment that's on the table. When he releases it, he looks down and the ink fades away, thereby bringing out an entire kind of statistics of you, your full name, a picture, your circle, which mentions the Mu 7J, as well as your the level that you're at, and you see that it says novice. Oh, a novice level. Yes, so you are allotted one uncommon item, and that is quite, that falls into that parameter. So yes, certainly. Hold on one moment, as he snaps his fingers, and then you see far from the back of the room, a floating book start to make its way towards you, and in a matter of seconds, it floats over your head and lands perfectly in front of you on the desk. There you are. So you are allotted 2 weeks with this item. Please return it promptly. If you are late, there will be a fee, and if you incur enough fees, let's just say you don't want to reach that portion. Let's just say you need to return it on time, please.
I will honor the rules of borrowing. I thank you for your time.
And then Ink grabs the primer to their chest, walks over to, I imagine there's some benches, and just starts ravenously reading.
Okay, and what the Silver Quill Primer does is a magic textbook created by here in the Fractal Centaurum. You get 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. If you make a Charisma Intimidation or Charisma Persuasion check while holding this book, you can expend 1 charge to give yourself a d4 bonus to the check immediately after you roll the d20. And also, if you study the primer at the end of a long rest, you can choose 1 first-level spell from the Bard or Cleric spell list. Before you finish your next long rest, you can cast a chosen spell once without a spell slot if you are holding this primer.
Amazing. Books. They're magic. Literally.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, enjoy. Please take very good care of our books. We, here at the Grand Reliquary, we make sure that all of our items are in pristine condition. If you do damage it, you will incur fees. Once again, try not to damage it so you don't need to know exactly what they are. Anyone else getting anything? He turns and looks at the rest of the party.
Yeah, that's... I just, I had a pair of these at home, and I wasn't able to bring them. They're slippers of spider climbing.
Slippers of spider climbing. Oh, yeah, yes, that's just an interesting one. Let me go check my... Yes, we do have them. And you as well. Would you mind placing your thumbprint so I can then confirm your stature here?
Sure. And I put my thumb down.
All right. Same thing happens. A little stat block of you and your time here at the Fractal Centauran pops up. Yes, another novice. So yes, you are allotted that as well. Just one, though. I'm sure you heard everything I said to them over there.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Make sure it's on time. As once again the kobold snaps his fingers, and floating up from the back of the large room are a pair of these glasses, gold and kind of, I'm sorry, glasses, a pair of these shoes. They look to be almost spun out of the finest of silk, and they shimmer with like a golden silver hue that fall down directly in front of you. There you are.
Oh, a perfect fit. Thank you.
But of course it'd be a perfect fit, because a magical item, it always fits to whoever the wearer is. But it can still be damaged. Don't damage it, because, well, you know.
Of course.
Excellent. I'm assuming you all are members of this Mew Circle here. Are you
Yes,
also getting
yes.
something?
We're all part of this circle. I will step forward and present my hand, which I have a normal golden ring on that I have affixed the pearl to, and show him I've taken a pearl of power.
Yeah. Well, do you mind? Points it over to
Of
the
course,
inkwell.
I will put my finger on the inkwell.
Okay. Placing on a thing, your dossier appears. Oh! He looks down. Oh, a house of Zen. Oh, it is my honor to serve someone from one of the grand houses of the Quandrix curricula.
I'll nod in acknowledgement. Appreciate your good service.
Oh, of course. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you about the rules. I know your family is very learned and astute when it comes to following the law.
Understood. My circle will also comply.
I'm sure they will with a Zen on their side. And once again, the pearl of watch, you already brought the pearl of power, so he grabs it.
Yeah, you said that the uncommon ones we could take, so I
Yeah,
just took it.
Yeah, you can.
Kievan, have you chosen your item?
Yes, I will be going with these. And I walk over to the stand where you deposit these and kind of like reach up and drop the glasses on the counter.
Excellent. Oh, these are fine goggles indeed. Would you mind as well, my kind fellow?
Yes, of course. You may want to keep this for later. Once I step into legend, you will be known as the shopkeeper who helped me on one of my first missions with the one of my first major missions here. Yes, it is an overwhelming honor. I know you're speechless. As I cannot see your face, I will simply assume you are, and I will reach my thumb over to try to stamp on wherever it needs to. Assuming I can see it, it may be a bit high. I'm not sure.
You can. It is a bit high. You have to kind of lift yourself up. All the halflings have to do so as you go ahead, placing your finger on, and of course you see your. Oh, actually, so you place your finger on it, and then you were expecting to see like a whole, like the ink form out and spill and form into your image as well, your statistics. Nothing happens. Oh, it's funny. This should work. Try again. It might need more ink.
I really rub my thumb back and forth on where the ink is. You are supposed to be the best of the best. I hope that your laboratory materials are up to snuff. I would hope not to see this kind of disappointment in other places I go here at the Citadel. And I press my thumb down again, this time with extra force.
Okay, you use extra force. And once again, nothing happens, and the Kobold turns. I have no idea this. I greatly apologize. I have no idea why this isn't working right now. Maybe they're still processing your magical your resonance back in the offices. Not to worry. I'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Name.
The name is Kievan Redquill.
Kievan Redquill. Okay, I already have your circle. And what is your curricula?
Magus of Witherbloom.
Witherbloom Magus School. Got it. All right, fair enough. That's okay. This is why we have these old-fashioned ways, in case the new magic fails us. Not to worry. I have apologies on that. But you have been recorded, and I'll get this settled. Thank you, Kievan.
Yes, I hope that your magical equipment is more reliable as well. And I snatched the eyes of the eagle and placed them on my face to begin my attunement.
Got it. And we'll say that Andrina and Ira both go up, collect their items. I'll get the items that they want for the next session. But they too do the same mention. They don't have any issue that Kievan has. It seems that theirs goes just as seamlessly as everyone else's as they collect their items as well. Well, there you have it. You look armed and ready for adventure. Is there any other things you wish to have? Anything you need? Any questions for us?
And if we do not bring these items back in your week, what consequences might befall our circle?
Well, 2 weeks, so you don't have to worry too much. But if you don't bring it back, first there will be a curse that will be placed upon you. That curse will slow you down. You'll find it very hard to move, and then eventually you'll feel yourself being drawn back to the Fractal Zentrum. If by some chance you are not brought back through the means that have been placed onto the items, then let's just say things get slightly more painful until, well, let's just say bring it back within the 2 weeks, please.
Ew, it sounds a little interesting. Would one of you be willing to hold on to yours for maybe 15
No,
or so days?
we will not be testing this. No. We will be following these rules.
I think Ink looks up for a book. I think the idea of this book exploding hurts my heart, so no thank you.
And then back into it.
And I like my feet.
Ooh, chest pain's already ink. Incredible. This might be some fast-acting curse.
Well then, I have other students to tend to, but please, if you need anything, just feel free to ask and come back to the Grand Reliquary. Who's next? As you all finish up collecting your items, grabbing them, and you can spend, if you need to attune it, you can spend some time from traveling here and traveling there to your destination to attune to these items.
Cool. Could you give it in Fantasy Grounds?
Yes. So in Fantasy Grounds, if you all open up the party sheet, so if you look at the very upper right-hand corner of your Fantasy Grounds, you'll see that there are several different buttons underneath tools. Specifically, the second one says party sheet. If you open that up, you'll get to a tabbed screen, a window. Hit the second one that says inventory, and then drag and drop the item into your character sheet in your inventory. It should already be identified, but if not, please let me know. And if I missed anyone, please let me know as well. But I think I got all of your items. Alrighty. So with new items in tow, you all you all leave the Grand Reliquary, heading on your way to the front gates where the Drake is waiting for you, where you could take a Drake over to Amelia's artificer workshop. And the clocks click, 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 fast forwards, and we go back to current time as you are all in this beautiful, lavish carriage. And that's much larger on the inside than the outside. There are curtains that can easily be opened up, and it's almost like Cinderella pumpkin shape style grand golden carriage. Actually, more of like an iridescent. It kind of flows in between colors. As a large drake pulls it, leaving the Fractal Centaurum in the back and heading deeper into the large magical city that is the Isle of Eternity. So, this journey takes about, I would say, a couple hours. It's a large city. It's about the size of like a modern day Manhattan of sorts. It's a very large floating island. You can see that there are several buildings, not very tall per se, about 3 or 4 stories tall, are the first that you see as you come out of this, almost a grove. The Fractal Centaurum is set apart, and there is a small little forest that kind of separates the school from the main city. But as you pass through in this sunny morning, the thick canopies kind of make a little bit of a shade that gives you an air of calm until you finally pass through, and then by seeing the grand city before you, you can see large lakes that extends far from what the eyes can see. You see, and this vantage point, because you're a little bit higher, you see that there are several of these buildings with glowing signs of magical nature, as well as you see flying brooms and other types of apparatus, magical apparatus in the air as wizards and other spellcasters seems to be traversing the skyways of the Isle of Eternity. You see them all landing, or some people landing down and entering other buildings, and all the buildings give you a sense of the arcane. They all have magical inscriptions inscribed on them, either on their walls or on their signs, and you then begin to proceed to walk on a cobblestone road as you enter the Isle of Eternity proper. Is there anything else you wish to do, or do you wish to just head straight to where the Drake is taking you? All right. So I will take that as that we will do a straight travel through the amazing city of the Isle of Eternity. As you guys look around and see the scene around you, you can see that there are several archipelago, almost like floating islands around this large island that you're on. Zendark, you know this as just where all the nobles of the houses live here in the Fractal Centaurum, or to say on the Isle of Eternity. You can probably even spot the House of Zen's archipelago or island off in the distance.
I'd be like, oh, and there's our house. You could see right there in the backyard where we have the garden. And there's the fucking house meter. And I'll point out the jerk that we met in the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
His noble house is a few rows down. You can see his a little bit smaller. And that's where Gren Meter lives. I'll repeat begrudgingly under my voice.
Oh, it's a bit small. He's not compensating for anything, is he? Like his small house.
I mean, you got what you got.
As the elders often say, small house, small heart.
Yes, I had heard that saying as well. From that's why everyone was all together in one big happy house. As they said, a happy home, a happy heart, a big home, a big heart. At least that's what they say.
I do believe I've heard a version of that.
The local colloquialisms are so strange.
All right. So as you continue to travel and now getting more into the city, you can now see that it is a bustling arcane town. Most of the people who live here, those of you who are from, or I should say just in Dark, you being from the Fractal Centaurum, know that everyone here on the Isle of Eternity is special. No one's mundane. They're all woven in some way or form. It's more like a sanctuary to protect those who are woven from becoming afflicted, almost. And it grew into this vibrant city. So everyone here just has that little glow, that little hint of magic as you pass by several shops, and it seems to be broken into districts. The first district you entered into was the entertainment district. This may catch your eye, Ink, as you go by and see several different pubs, houses of pleasure and houses of entertainment that pass by. And you do see the largest is the Devil Wears Naga, which catches your eye as you made a point of that the night prior. As you exit out, continuing on Drake, as people are very friendly, they wave to you as you pass on this carriage. You then enter into the financial district. Here you can see there are banks and places for commerce and trade happening. Several different large buildings, and you see there is a guard system. There are guards here, and they're all Zendark, you would know specifically, members of the Fractal Centaurum who are probably higher rank that are meant to kind of be the security here in the Isle of Eternity. Going further into the next district, you do enter the workshop district, where you see many buildings where smoke and plumes come out of the chimneys. You hear the sounds of machinations and explosions and bubbling as you pass by several of these shops, all with several different types of catchy, witty names and places that you may want to shop at if you ever wish to actually purchase an item rather than renting them from the Fractal Centaurum. The stagecoach makes a sharp left turn, spinning around what looks to be a fountain spewing out beautiful crystal water. The visage of a androgynous person standing with a very long robe with their hand standing out as if trying to grab something, looking very regal, possibly elf-like. Is there, and this is most likely one of the gods you per se. If anybody wants to know which one, you can go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Ooh, I want to roll.
I also want to roll.
Go right ahead.
Religion.
All right, 14 for Zendark. Ooh, natural 2021 for Kievon. Ooh!
Twinsies.
I mean, if everyone's doing it.
14. So 21. 20.
Twinsies!
Twinsies! We'll say Andrina and Ireland are kind of just looking at the sights, not really paying much attention, but the four of you...
Probably flirting with each other.
Yeah, maybe. You know this as... Oh, actually, let me pull open the correct name before I forget. Okay. You know this as Bashir. Bashir is the lawful, neutral god, the god of... That's one of the names that this person goes by, or this deity goes by. They are the god of neutrality, specifically lawful neutrality, and it seems to be the... out of the 9 gods that exist within this pantheon, and it seems to be like the patron god, at least, of the Isle of Eternity, the way that it's being bestowed and showcased in front of everyone here in the main square of the city. But passing that, you continue to make your way down a side alley as less and less people start to appear. And you see that the cobblestone road, continues up a long hill where just barely you can see a building or house of some sort with strange green and black smoke coming out of his chimney up at the top of this hill. The Drake finally begins to go up and ascend up the hill, and for about another 15 minutes until finally steps into what looks to be another small little grove, an enclave that you pass through. As you break through the trees, you can see almost like it's a large one-story building made out of stone, and the stones are all uneven, but it all seems to be cemented together. There is a chimney that's going high up, and that's where these strange Technicolor smoke plumes are coming from. You can hear the sounds of ching, ching, ching happening on the inside, and you can just smell just concoctions. As you go in front of the gate, there is about a 10-foot path between the first iron gate and the door itself. As you pull up next to it, and the Drake stops. And it seems like you all have arrived.
This must be the location, shall we?
Let us.
Yeah.
Has anyone made an acquaintance here, or is this our first introduction? I'm happy to step forward as the speaking representative, but I also understand, Zendaric, you might have history with the denizens of this area.
Oh no, please go right ahead. I actually have only heard of Amelia a name. I have not actually made her acquaintance yet. And I'll open the door for you.
Thank you kindly.
We enter. Ink will lead the charge, walking in.
Okay. So you all open up the door, stepping down as like a mechanical staircase unfolds in front of you as you make the steps outside. As the last of you gets out, the Drake kind of pulls over to the side, like out of the front way into the back, and almost parks itself between a tree, almost waiting for your return back. As you open up the gate, it's open. Step inside as you start to walk your way up the pathway to the door. The banging becomes louder, and now the smell, the stench of concoctions and experimentations wafts in your noses as you reach the wooden door with the brass door handle, but it is locked.
I knock loudly.
All right. Kind of give it a knock. No response.
It's locked? Have you tried opening the door?
It's locked, right?
Yeah, if any of you try it, you'll see
Yeah.
it's locked.
It is definitely locked, and I foresee breaking into someone's home, even to help them, is probably inappropriate.
Ink knocks again, louder this time.
You said there were some smells. Can we make any kind of perception check to try to see but to suss out what we're smelling? Maybe sulfur, maybe like some kind of like gas or something that might give us hints about what's going on the other side.
Yeah, you
Any
can roll me.
smoke?
You roll me perception checks. Anyone who wants to participate.
I would like to participate as well.
I also shall participate.
Look at us engaging.
Look at these high rolls. You're getting them out the way now.
It's
I'm gonna
this
save
new
mine.
dice color.
You're just saving.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna bookmark this die real quick.
So we
Right.
have Sully with a 21, Kievon with a 21, and Ink with a 7. So Kayvon and Sully, both of you for different reasons can recognize some of these smells. Sully, you definitely smell things such as some type of maybe poison or like something that you would find in a concoction that would be used to, I'm gonna say kill someone, but like differently because of your assassin-like background, you can smell the nefarious sense of different or odors of different concoctions. Kievon, with your 21 being someone in medicine, you can smell the same thing, but you get the sense this is more of like a combination of experimentations. Like you smell a little bit of sulfur, you smell a little bit of like magical substance, a hint of long leaf it wafts in the air, as well as other strange combinations of elixirs. As well as the sounds of like hammering, banging, voo, voo, and all those different sounds of like machinations.
Something's not right. Now, Ink, I know you said you wouldn't want to break in, but what if we just helped ourselves to get in? And I pull out my thieves' tools.
Okay. If you were to pick the lock, you can roll a sleight of hand check if you wish.
Is there a window?
Yes, there is a window that you can try to peer through if you wish.
Before you break in, as Ink said before, maybe we shouldn't. They're here. They're home. We hear a noise. I want to go. Let's see if we can look in the window.
Yeah, something just smells off. I don't know. I feel like getting in there faster than safer is probably...
Oh, I thought that was Big Steve. That's from here?
No, not that sulfur smell. That's something different.
Oh, everything here smells strange to me. The city is very crowded and there are many smells.
Agreed.
Yes, with a scent of a bit of phallus leaf and a little bit of long leaf and sulfur makes me believe that he's probably in there working on something actively. I know that when I'm in the middle of research, I can be very distracted and hard to get a hold of me. I say let us get in quickly, but also I know that if anyone were to barge in on me, as I've said before in the past, that you come in at your own risk. So Sully, I would like to help you get in there. And I would like to cast guidance on Sully. But I will also take a step over here and take several steps back behind him.
Well, did we actually peer through the window yet to see what was going on?
Right, I was trying to, yeah.
Oh.
I want to like let that happen first and like...
Okay. Zen, roll me a perception check, please.
Okay.
As you peer through the window. Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
The curtains are pulled back over here. See, I was trying to save it. 25 with a natural 20 on perception. The curtains are pulled back over here. The latch is open.
You kind of look and the window's open. Yeah, you can open up the window definitely and get in. And you kind of pull back the window a little bit and peer through, and you can clearly see inside. It looks like a workshop inside. There are several different. The floors are made out of what looks to be some type of iron or steel, some type of black metal, and you can see there's a furnace, a table with different strange tools on it, and then you can, with a nat 20, you glint and you can see just at the corner of your eye what looks to be some type of figure with huge goggles and wearing like leather overalls and a dirty white shirt, hammering away at something, grabbing there's 2 bottles of elixirs, one that's kind of bubbling and looking very acidic, and the other looks like maybe like a pop of some kind. The figure goes to grab the poison, the poisonous looking elixir, picks it up, puts it down, and then grabs the soda pop and then looks to drink it, but not even looking.
Oh my god. I will, okay, I'm gonna turn my head back and I'll say, she's got her nose deep in something. That's why she can't hear us. One second. And if I can see her, if she puts her soda down, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and pick up that soda to sort of get her attention and then float it towards the window where like I'm like, hello, like, open the door, lady.
Okay. You go, yeah, your mage hand can easily reach, picks it up, and like she then goes to get another sip, and she goes, and she like hits nothing. She turns over and turns to her left, and all of a sudden you hear, ah! She turns around and sees you waving at the window. Pulling off her goggles, you see it looks to be a gnomish woman with purple hair and 2 large pigtails. Like the hair goes all the way down, much longer than her actual body. She looks to have strange, like cogwheel eye, almost giving you a sense like a steampunk eye on her left eye, that makes her one eye very large, as she has several different contraptions and tools, that she then turns around and gets up and goes, what? One second.
My apologies for startling you. Yes, could you come to the door?
Yeah, I'll be right there, I'll be right there. Oh my God, by the gods, I scared the shit out of me. She gets up.
I'll place her soda down and then walk over to the door.
You see her get up, and as she does, she hits what looks to be a button on her back. When she does, animatronic legs appear and arms appear that kind of lift her up, bringing her up to like the same height of like a 6 foot tall humanoid, as she just becomes almost like Doc Ock walking her way over, and she goes to the door and opens it up, and there you see this kind of 6 foot tall gnomish woman, with the mechanical looking eye, in these brown overalls, staring down at all of you, since all of you, maybe Zen, you're about the same height at this point. She goes, greetings, welcome. I was an expecting guest. I'm so sorry. How can I be of service?
Apologies for the surprise. We are representatives from the Fractal Sanctorum, and we collected your bulletin. We are here to assist you with your golem problem. My name is Ink, short for fresh ink on paper. This is Kievon, Sully, and Zendaric. And behind us, look alive friends are Ireland and Adrina. How may we be of service for you today?
Oh, by the 9! Oh, I'm so glad you guys came. Come inside, quickly. And she kind of ushers you all inside, slamming the door behind her as soon as the last person steps in. And now you can see this laboratory workshop. There is a blacksmithing table, what looks to be an artificing table, with beakers and all sorts of elixirs, as well as metallurgy happening in here. It looks like a gigantic forge / laboratory combined. There are no seats, and everything is filled with paper. They're just paper everywhere. It is a hoarder's dream, I guess, or nightmare, however you consider that. And it's just full of just what looks like junk. The room continues behind, but you can't see anything on the other side as she lowers herself again, retracting the mechanical limbs. I'm so glad you guys came. I'm in such a bind. By the way, I'm Amelia. She wipes her nose and sticks out her hands to be shaken.
Ink reaches out and shakes the hand, even if it was yucky.
The pleasure is all ours. This is a fine workshop. Do you wish us to take our shoes off at the door, or?
Yeah, keep it on. Let's keep it on. It's totally fine. Don't worry, I'll get somebody to clean this up later. But yeah, have a seat. As she beckons you to have a seat, and there's nowhere to have a seat.
Thank you kindly for your hospitality.
I'll just walk slightly around the table, to make it seem like we've moved in a little bit more.
I'll have Big Steve kneel, sit down on his haunches, but I'm still gonna be in my saddle on his back.
Got it.
So please tell us more about these golems you're dealing with.
Yeah, no, just go golem. Go golem. It's just one. So now as you're here, I have to be a little honest with you guys. Okay, so I'm a little strapped for cash, and I may have, hear me out, I may have placed this in under an F-class quest. It might be a little bit more complex since I have first placed it in there, and I didn't want, I just can't quite afford anything that would be, I don't know, like a C or D class, but you, Spellbinders, are so powerful and great, I think that you will do just fine. And all you need to do is just.
So this is charity.
No.
Charity work.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. It's very. We have charity days.
Zendaric, wait. Look where we are. Amelia, I understand you said you can't pay us in cash, but. And I kind of lift up one of my feet. Can you make items like this?
She looks down at it, and and you see her eye, her mechanical eye, her left eye, zoom out, and begin to spin, and then zooms back in. Oh, those are spider climbing shoes. Oh yeah, I can easily make you some of those. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is, as the rules of the Fractal Sanctorum, I have to pay a fee in order to have my quest listed, which I have. It's just I may have undercut it a little bit. Please forgive me. I can easily, like you said, build you something or anything. As you can see, I am Amelia the Great Artificer. I can make anything. With time and parts, of course.
I'm pretty sure, is that a self-given title? The paperwork that I have here says Amelia the Novice Artificer.
I am great. I see myself as great. I'm so about self-lifting and uplifting yourself, and if you say it, then you will achieve it. So I am a great artificer, and you will do no wrong having me build your items.
All right.
It is important to present ourselves with our best personas forward. For if we do not put ourselves over, who else shall? I completely understand, and we would be happy to discuss a barter for items in exchange for this service that we intend to do for you today.
Oh, excellent. And also, can we not tell anyone at the Fractal? Because, it's a kind of not okay to lie about the tier, but we can work something out, right?
I believe that we can turn a blind eye in this instance.
Oh, great.
Blind eye and stuffed pockets.
Oh, great. Now I'm associated with criminals.
Is this
Sure.
against the law, or is it just frowned upon in the regulations of the Fractorum? I feel that doing good outweighs rules that might limit us from doing said good.
Oh, and you decided that.
Well, rules and restrictions are basically the guardrails of the common-minded people anyway.
Common-minded people that keep the buildings afloat. The greatest mages of all time. Okay.
Well,
sure.
we could always walk away and not assist this artificer in.
No, it's our first quest. We shouldn't turn down. Okay. Maybe this one time we can make a great connection and forge a fantastic alliance, right, Amelia?
No,
Then
that's
it would be,
perfect.
Then it wouldn't be as distasteful.
I mean, think about it this way, Amelia. You're going to want to outfit one of the greatest circles that have ever gone through the Fractal Sanctorum, isn't that right?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that's totally right.
Now, this lab of yours is mildly impressive. Of course, we'll need some time to go look around it before we go through. And if we assist you, the lies end here, of course.
No, you're totally right. I'll tell you everything what's going on, even about that strange-looking, I don't even know what to call it, a dungeon that my golem ran into, I'll need you guys to kind of explore for me.
So we need to recover a golem or destroy it?
Well, a little bit of both. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. So I built a golem. It's the most amazing golem you've ever seen. It's made out of light. It has a physical core, but a core that can bend because I was able to harvest gravitational magic to kind of squeeze it into a singularity. And it's amazing. But I won't go over the details. It got a little out of hand, and I kept it trapped in one of my back rooms as it was just kind of destroying and attacking everything. And that's when I put in the quest to get some help. Dismantling it. Though a property of light is that it can kind of travel through things, so it kind of passed through my barriers, and when I chased it down, I don't know, back in my forest, I did not realize there was a strange looking opening, like a fissure in the ground. And then when I went to check it out, it looked like a temple or something. I've never heard of it. It's like it suddenly appeared. Anyway, it went down there, and I don't want it to cause any havoc, and it's very expensive. So if you can kind of just check out, keep an eye out, be safe down there, and bring it back. Dead or alive, I'm fine either way.
Well, I imagine if we brought it back dead, you could reconstitute it. You just wish to have the base materials that you constructed this golem out of returned to you.
Yes, that's exactly correct.
And how large is this golem?
About this high as she hits a button again, and she goes back onto her kind of like octopus-like arms and legs, standing up, and she gets about 5'8". Sorry, she gets about 5'10", almost 6 feet. Yeah, about this tall.
Do you have some sort of vessel we could put it in while transporting?
I mean,
or a magical bag, perhaps?
I mean, yeah. The core? Yeah, so it doesn't reconstitute? I think I got something here. Hold on one second. And she begins rivaling through all the many different strange contraptions she has along her walls. And so she pulls out what looks to be a silver bag with a golden tie string on it. This is a bag of holding. You can slip its core in here, and it shouldn't reconstitute itself once you take it out.
Fantastic.
And she hands it over to Gets in Dark, since you asked about it, so you can put in your inventory that you have one bag of holding.
Sure.
Nice. All right, any other important features about this golem that we should keep in mind? Did you construct it to speak a language, or does it have any other finer accoutrement that you included in its construction?
Well, it will defend itself, and like I said, it has the aspects of light, so it can kind of turn invisible when it wants. But I would definitely use some other means. Like, it may be invisible because it's bending light, but doesn't mean it's not there. So that's one thing you need to know. And it also is kind of strong. I was using it to help me with like the heavy lifting around here. So if you do happen to get into battle with it, I would err on the side of caution.
Any vulnerabilities?
Well, it definitely won't take any kind of poison damage. So if you do any kind of poisonous spells, or you have any of those concoctions, I would try not to do that. Also, it's pretty sturdy. It might, if you have mundane items, unfortunately, you might not be able to pierce its shell. Maybe partially, but it is pretty defensive. So you definitely want to use some magic on it.
Any definitive weaknesses? Like, would thunder damage overload it? Would it overheat, perhaps, if we sort of cooked the core some way? Would it cool if we froze it out? Would it work slower? I'm just trying to see if there's some way that we can get the jump on it.
Well, now that you mention it, I mean, it is essentially metal at its core, light or not. It's somewhat physical. So if you were to heat it up, like with a heat metal spell or something like that, that could probably do some good damage.
Interesting. And
so heat and poison are two things that it is sensitive to.
No, not poison,
Not poison. Thank you.
but heat.
Heat is heat sensitive. Thank you.
And to Ink's point, cannot be reasoned with, correct? Just to be sure.
Oh, yeah. It's a mindless creature. Yeah, it's just a construct.
Now this, I do not wish to get too personal on this, but this might help us in the long run. What exactly prompted your golem to leave your service? It seems that it was helping you, and then it suddenly elected to run off.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. I've been pondering that one myself. I've been kind of trying to make a secondary golem here, maybe to combat it, but it's just not working out. And so, exactly why it left, I'm not sure. That is really odd. I've never had it happen to me before.
Yes, do you have any research notes? An obvious question to ask, but is any of this peer-reviewed?
I mean, there's no one else that matches my intellect, I'm sorry to say, so I don't really have any peers.
Oh, right. I know that kind of logic when you're going through work, when you're walking on the path less trodden. You're going to be the first one to encounter all sorts of strange new ideas and strategies and formulations, of course. So, was there anything that you did that was particularly non-standard about this golem you constructed? What made it an Amelia original?
Oh, I like this one. I get the sense that you're a little bit of a craftsman yourself.
Oh, an artisan of the flesh, really. I don't really dabble so much in deeply into mechanical as some of my colleagues will here. Well, circle mates.
Ah, well, you still seem to probably do well with your hands, but I would say things that make it an original, I guess it would be the technology I used to build this core, is that I was able to bend itself around light. That's pretty unseen before, and I was hoping to present it to the Fractal Centaurum, so maybe one day I can move my laboratory there. Man, that place has so many places, and I even heard there's a place called the Infinite Corridor, and I'm dying to see what makes it tick.
You might die to see what makes it tick, frankly.
Yes, we've all heard of the Infinite Corridor. It's one of our biggest stops that we have on our list on the pathway to greatness.
No.
When we are ready.
When
to
we're
enter.
ready. Yes.
Yes,
Our time
yes,
is-
when.
Our time is not nigh.
Well, when it is, let me know. I feel like we can make some type of business accord here. You know, I mean, you guys are really cool. Most people would have turned me in already to the Dean Master, but you guys, your circle seems pretty chill. So, yeah, I think. And she looks at all of you. I think that we can make a beautiful partnership, as long as everything goes well down there. I'm not saying you can die or anything like that. I just don't know what happens to be down there. And frankly, I'm not an adventurer or a spellbinder like you guys are, so I tend to stay away from that type of danger. Not saying it's dangerous or anything like that.
I'd like to roll insight on that last little statement.
Go right ahead.
Ink is taking notes, like, on a little pad. Is like, likelihood of danger, high. Just, that's yeah.
I got an 18.
18. Oh yeah, she more sounds like she has no idea, but just from what she's explaining it might be she has no idea. She's just lying, trying to ease the tensions. It will make you feel more comfortable taking this task.
So, Amelia, why is it that you haven't been granted an office in the Fractal Sanctorum? Because I'm sure you could have easily found a sponsor now with all of your gadgets as I look around this workshop. There's so many things here that would have brought you fame. I'm sure there must be a deeper reason as I lean in.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
I'm trying to get a good read on her because I want to know I'll roll a persuasion for that part, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think back and recall if there's been any 18 on persuasion.
Nice.
I'm trying to recall an insight for her. Does she have a reputation as the mad scientist or like in the noble circles, like why isn't anyone sponsoring her? You know what I mean? Like, where are her venture capitalists?
An 18. All right, so we'll start off with there. She looks over at you, kind of shifts her eyes left and right. And she turns around and puts her arm behind her back. Let's just say my experiments have been a little unorthodox when it comes to the Fractal Centaurum. And I mean, like progress knows no bounds. I mean, you can't just hinder progress. Am I right? I mean, like, if someone loses an arm or forever loses any ability of magical consumption or production, then, I mean, that's a cost for science.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Well, I don't think that there's any risk of that happening on this mission, so we should be fine.
Yeah,
Right?
totally. Yep.
There's no, like, D-magic ability of this golem we have to worry about?
No. You have nothing to worry about. It's not like it can just evolve itself or anything like that. I didn't build that into it. Or did I? No, you'll be fine.
I'm going to turn to Ink and write down, or mouth to her to write down that it could evolve, ?
Evolution ?
Right. And say, all right, so it seems like we are in accord though on this general request. Where do you have the coordinates of this dungeon you speak of, or location?
I mean, yeah, I can take you right to it.
Oh. All right. I mean, are we all in agreement here? And I'll look to the group.
I think so.
I feel equipped.
I have no fear about this adventure.
I wouldn't think you would be afraid of anything, Kievan.
Only thing I'm afraid of is not living up to the destiny that awaits me. And you all, of course, by proxy.
Delighted to live in your proxy, Kievan.
I think that's wonderful that you're keeping us all in your mind, Kievan. I can't wait to see where destiny takes us. I also assume, Drina, you're good, and I'm also, because Ireland is artificer too, so I feel like he's absorbed in the workshop, like looking at everything.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I'll just be like, Ira, you too? You good? And just sort of.
Yeah, I'm fine. I that's all right. I think I can do it. I think that'll work. Trina also agrees. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead. I think that whatever we find down there will be worthwhile, or something to that effect.
All right, sounds good. Then we all agreed. Ink, you've been keeping notes of this agreement, right? I can assume that you have a semi-contract for us to rely on.
Oh, I can draft a contract very quickly. And then Ink like pulls a new page and starts writing like, the undersigned Omelia will receive services from the big G unit. It's like real quick, and it's like, all right, I believe this covers everything. That we will retrieve your golem in exchange for certain items provided by you, Omelia. If you would like to peruse this and then make sure this is all above board, we will accept your signature and commence the mission.
Oh, so official. Yeah, I trust you guys. I mean, I don't have a choice, so certainly. As she goes ahead and one of her extendo arms stretches out and grabs another quill that she kind of dots with her tongue and begins writing her signature onto this parchment that you've created.
Yes, you always have a choice as well. Remember, you come from us not just in desperation, but in trust. I refuse to have a patient who comes to me out of desperation and not trust.
Definitely. I 100% agree.
Beautiful. Then, if you do not mind, Omelia, please lead the way to the entrance.
Ah, yes, certainly. Right this way. Let me just close up shop here. She goes ahead and starts moving around. She walks to kind of a side panel on one of the far walls, pulling down what looked to be just normal stone. Turns out to be a fake wall of sorts with several buttons on there. She then hits them, beep, beep, boop. And as she does, a moment later, coming from the back are just a streamline of about 15 automatons that begin walking up, bending down, picking up, and those of you, you probably recognize them. All of you are just Nimblewrights. These are just kind of automatonic creatures that are created with no souls, like Warforges, and just do mundane tasks as they begin to just pick up and move things, like close beakers, turn off furnaces, basically close up shop. Though it's still complete mess in here. There we go. We're all done. All right, just right this way through the back, and yeah, it should be about a 15-minute walk.
All right.
Excellent.
Onwards.
Are we doing a walk? Can we do a walk and talk?
Yeah, certainly.
Can we do a walk and talk? Amazing. Yeah, Ink's gonna walk next to Omelia and be like,
Omelia, we many of us are new in the area, having just been inducted into the Fractal Sanctorum, and I would love to hear your insights about this area, the neighborhood, perhaps its arts and entertainment circles or places of interest. I would love the insight of a local, please.
Oh, and I would love to tell you all about it. What do you have in mind? Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Well, I was intrigued by an establishment called the Devil Wears Naga. Do you happen to know who runs that establishment? Maybe their temperament. I don't. Just getting to know my new home. Always nice to see the sights.
Oh, certainly. Yes, the Devil Wears Naga. Now that's a really cool place to go to. That is actually run by a Naga. I mean, of course, by the name of Mixter Dano Bale. He is the... I'm getting hot and bothered just thinking about him. He is a very charismatic Naga who really knows how to mix up drinks and give you a good time. That place is all the rage. Everybody wants to go there. You can go there for a simple drink, for a performance, as well as you can hang out with any of the local courtesans. For whatever you're liking. It's a very, very well-run establishment. I may have caught myself there maybe here or there, just to grab a drink. Nothing more than that.
Oh, that sounds like quite a delightful place. Is there any spots of entertainment that you found were more unsavory that should be avoided?
Unsavory? I mean...
We don't want to get ourselves in too much trouble, mind you.
Well, then I wouldn't go to the Green Gecko.
Gecko.
Yeah, the Green Gecko is a little rough. I don't know really who runs it. I don't go there. I don't try to deal myself with that. Even though we're in the Isle of Eternity, there's some bad apples here as well. So I hear there's a little bit of like an underbelly of wizards who kind of go and deal with strange illegal magics there and all that, but no one can... I don't know if the Fractal Sanctorum just doesn't care or they just can't catch them, but their spot moves all the time, and that's about all I know. Just, if you hear the Green Gecko, just stay far away from that.
Excellent, thank you. We will take that under advisement.
Anything else? I do know a couple places around here.
No, I'm good.
Well,
I don't know how to politely speak in ink and go,
I'm fine. Thank you so much for your kind guidance. we out of towners rely on locals like yourself. Appreciate it.
No problem. I mean, that's the main income here on the Isle of Eternity are just all those outsiders. I mean, not so much you're a student, but every so often we kind of park over, one of the realms and invite people on up to do shopping. I mean, you get rare items here and things that you won't find anywhere else. So think of it as like an attraction of sorts.
Lovely.
Ink, I didn't know you were so into nightlife. I know that you're obviously a performer, but do you fancy yourself going out to places often?
Well, I find that scenes of art are the best ways to understand the temperament of a location. Where I come from, we often participate in festivals throughout the year, and I feel that our sense of creativity and camaraderie informs how we conduct ourselves in my tiny little colony of Baraset. So it is nice to understand and know the heart of a people through their art.
Fantastic. I'll have to make some reservations for our circle at one of the finer establishments.
Perhaps after a successful mission here, we might frequent the Devil Wears Naga for a celebratory beverage.
That sounds fantastic.
So as you have this conversation, you notice like the back of her, she has a humongous backyard. It seems to bleed into another like unkept forest.
Sorry, my brain went in the wrong place. She's got a humongous backyard.
Oh.
Don't you forget it.
Unkept, right next to that forest.
Ow, wow, wow. That backyard, don't lie. Let me tell you.
So, as you walk, you then everything being like the grasses was kept pretty low until eventually it's now becoming up to almost, I would say, like knee high as you step into this thick forest. You, with all your passive perceptions, you can easily see that there is like a walked path that something like heavy wheeled its way through. As she points out, there's the tracks. Yeah, yep, it's right this way. And you continue to follow her. Eventually, the tree line breaks, and you come to like what seems to be a small little enclave, like a grotto, where you see a huge hole, and it looks unnatural. Just the way you can all tell that it's very unnatural. This hole in the ground, as these broken stone steps leads deeper in, and looking down, those of you with dark vision can see 30 feet down that there is a door there made out of like some type of old wood that seems to be breaking apart, though although the wood itself looks old, the door itself looks sturdy. Yeah, it went right down there. And I kind of opened up the door and just, I got the chills. I wouldn't want to be myself, who's an untrained combatant down there, but I think that, nothing bad ever happens on the Isle of Eternity. It's probably has maybe some large rats or other creatures that you can easily stomp out. So, good luck.
Thank you.
Right. Are you sure there's anything else we don't need to know before we head into this?
I've told you everything I know. Don't worry, you'll do fine. If I even knew how to wield a sword or a dagger or can shoot out magically pew 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 spells or something like that, I would totally be down there. But alas, I am not a trained spellbinder, so I will leave it to you. Well, good luck. I am going to go and prepare for your arrival. I'll make us dinner when you get back. I'm sure it won't take you more than like a few minutes. So, good luck. And she just kind of zoop, 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 just quickly dashing away back through the forest.
That wasn't convincing.
Or exactly what we bargained for.
Yeah, we we each should be getting an item after this. I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's why I had you write that contract. Thank you so much, Ink.
Of course. Contracts are right up my alley. Uh, I gotta say, not used to going down into dark holes, so I'm feeling a little nervous. Does anybody want to go in first?
I
Not a lot
shared.
of holes in the desert. Let me
I
tell
could
ya.
I could scout ahead a little bit, try to stay stealthy and remain unseen and report back.
Is it like
Yeah.
just a straight drop in?
It's kind of like a 30-foot staircase that leads to what seems to be like a cellar-like door that you can totally walk down and check it out if you like.
I'll go down and check it out.
Okay. Sully, you walk down the stairs, clink, cluck, 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 until you finally reach. There's a cool draft, even cooler than it's winter-ish time here at this time in Greymore. But you do feel kind of like a chill go down your spine as you reach the bottom. The door looks to be large, probably about 30 feet tall, and there is no handle, but more so of like it looks like you have to push it. You can tell by the little carvings on the floor that the direction that the door would come in here, but it's old, like ancient.
Okay. Can I do like an investigation for any sort of traps that might be on it, or
Sure.
any kind of magical? Nothing magical, I guess, because my first instinct would probably just be to make sure it doesn't have any physical traps or locks, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please.
That's a 12.
12. You begin inspecting it, running your finger up like around the door, and you do notice that you can't see, maybe because it's been covered with this dirt or muck that's on it, but you do feel like indentations, carvings on the door itself. Not sure exactly what they mean, but nothing screams a trap to you. But you do feel that one section of the door, like a panel, can be pushed in if you so choose.
I'll push it in. Why not?
The area begins to shake as rubble falls from kind of like the top, like overhang of the tunnel that you're down. As the doors slide to the side, actually no, the doors push in because it looks like it'd be pushing. As the doors come in, and revealing what seems to be a long hallway, completely dark. And the moment that the door finally opens up, torches light up, revealing what seems to be a strange stone tunnel with, as far as your dark vision can see, because you actually know it's completely lit up, that about another 100 feet down seems to be 2 staircases.
Like 2 splitting staircases?
Yeah, 2 separate. Like you want a staircase to the left and a staircase to the right.
Okay. I shout that back up to my companions and say, looks like we better get in here before the door closes.
As he shouts that, I'll gesture for Ink to go, and I will hold up my arcane symbol and twist it and activate a few glyphs on it, and a sort of matrix-like code will run down, and I will walk through it as the magic coats me as I cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. The mage armor appears on your body, glowing with a ethereal essence.
Coming!
On our way. Ink very slowly starts going down into this dark hole.
Are those torches like how hard? Are they mounted on the wall? Or are they
Yeah,
kind
they
of
look
like
to be
just
mounted on the
sconce?
wall. No, they look to be like they're mounted on the wall. I mean, you can take the torch out of it. Like, yeah, it's inside of a kind of like a holding, but they're all like lined up, mounted on the walls.
Oh, excellent. I take one of those torches as we go in.
Okay, so you all walk down the stairs and step in past the threshold into this dark dungeon temple-like ruins. Go to grab a torch. As you pull it up, it comes out, and you hold it. You hold the torch, and begin proceeding further down this dark tunnel. Well, this dimly lit tunnel. And there is where we're going to take a quick break.
Woohoo!
So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You'll see exactly when we get back. Once we put the timer on, we're just gonna use the restroom, grab some food, and then head back and do the second half of this dungeon crawl that's coming up. So everyone, please stay tuned.
Bye. See you in a minute.
Back in 5, team.
Back in a sec.
And
We're back, baby, with a bang!
Coming back so strong.
And
Wow.
we're back.
Dungeons and
Smooth,
Dragons.
Trav, smooth. Alrighty, so welcome
Smooth.
back, everyone. Let's remove the bookmark and continue our tale. So, Spellbinders, you have walked into what seems to be a dark corridor. The walls are made out of like a grayish stone. They all seem to be meticulously all the same shape and size. So it was done by definitely a person or persons, though it looks very ancient just by looking at it. The floors are dirtied and looks to be some type of maybe ink or some type of drawing that was etched onto the grounds but has long since been rubbed away, just giving slight hues of reds and greens. As you continue walking, you see about 50 feet ahead of you the walls, I should say, are about 15 feet across, so you have enough to stand kind of three-way across. And the ceilings are about 30 feet high. Other than that, the walls are pretty blank, other than the torches that hang on it. What do you wish to do?
Sully, you were looking at the door. Did you see anything interesting?
Just that this door, it's very ancient, and I got the feeling that there may have been some sort of words on there, probably most likely just telling us to stay out. I've encountered doors like this before. What else? What is a door but just another way of another invitation to see what's behind it, right? So I think the real question here is right or left. DM, can I actually use my ability to read Thieves' Cant to see if there are any like scratched in carvings that would indicate maybe another person in the business has been here before?
I'd say roll me a perception check.
Well, I got a 9.
A 9. Nothing you catch. You don't even see anything really etched in the walls. There's definitely some drawing on the ground, but yeah, with a 9, you can't quite make it out what it is.
Huh. Well, there is this thing here, but I'm not really getting a read off of it. At least no other reclaimers have been down this way.
Can you point it out? Let me
It's
take a
this
look at it.
weird blobby thing right here. And I point to the ground.
I will, wipe my hands across my eyes, and as I do, I'll then move my hand towards the ground and prestidigitate any like dirt or soil away, so that way I could potentially see the glyph or thing he's pointing out more clearly. And do I read it?
Okay.
And I can.
So, as you go ahead and look down and cast your prestidigitation, the winds pick up, blowing the dirt and muck around, arcanically cleaning the floors, revealing what looks to be a strange, curving, almost like a serpentine shape. As you look around, you see it kind of it looks almost like a formula, just like I would say roll me really quick an Arcana check, please.
Sure. $22.
22.
Wow.
It is an archaic magical circle. It's not even like a circle, but like a magical symbol. But the way that the curves intertwine, almost like like a snake curving into itself or into several other snakes, you can get the sense it is something magical in nature, like a magical circle. And in that instance, once the final dust clears, the entire serpent like symbol begins to glow with a bluish hue. All of you begin to feel the sense of your bodies lifting up as you get like a feeling of vertigo as you're beginning to float up, and you kind of look at each other in a moment. It looks like it's affecting all the dirt in the room as the doors slam shut from where you guys first entered in there. As you all look at each other in 1 second, it happens so fast that you're unable to say anything as you all disappear. Seems like some sort of magical trap has been activated.
I knew it.
After another second, you all land. Go ahead and roll me dexterity saves really quick, everybody. You kind of were lifted up all the way up and like 30 feet up. All right, so
Not good.
We
7.
have 7 for Zendark, a 12 for Sully, an 8 for Kayvon. Oh, but a dirty 20 for Ink. Sully and definitely Ink, both of you land fine on your feet. Don't take any damage from landing poorly from the ground. Ink specifically, you like you're a cat. You to not play into a stereotype, you just completely land on your feet perfectly. Though everyone else do take 1d6 of falling damage. 1 point of falling damage.
He scraped a knee.
And actually roll that for the Beholder and Eye of the Beholder. Everyone, the Eye of the Beholder is just an extra character that will be following everyone around so you can see what the players see. It's not actually a creature.
Wait, does Big Steve also need to make a dex
Oh, you
save?
know what? You know what? He does, because Big Steve would have been with you as well.
Okay, he just gets a plus.
Yeah, do you
2.
want me to share his sheet with you?
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, yes, please, Dungeon Master.
Okay. Let me go ahead and open up the right fantasy grounds. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop it for you only, Adam, so you have that for you. All right, so you should just see Big Steve pop up.
I do. Oh my goodness, my own Big Steve sheet.
Alrighty. So now you can go ahead and we'll re-roll that one. Roll his dex save by hitting the S underneath the dex where it says C and S.
Wait, one more time. You said hit the S.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, let me know, and I'll just roll for him. Oh, there it is. Ooh.
I activate when he rolls that 1. It activates my halfling ability, and my version allows me to do it for other people when they get a roll 1 on a save or a check. I'm going to, as I fall slip, but I will crack my whip at the last moment to try to startle Steve into making Big Steve making the right decision. Big Steve.
Big Steve just can't land on it.
Big Steve just doesn't understand what has occurred. Poor baby.
Oh,
He does not like gravity.
No. Big Steve lands and also takes 1 point of damage. So I will give him, and I'm gonna say Big Steve would also get Ink's inspiring leader from before, so I'm gonna give him 4 temporary age points as well because he's smart and he gets inspired.
Oh.
Is Big Steve actually Marmaduke?
No, he's legally distinct from Marmaduke.
Fair enough.
Wasn't my inspiring speech about cheese? So maybe it
was.
gave like Big Steve a little bit of that cheese tax while Kayvon wasn't looking. Everybody, like the pets love the cheese tax.
You gotta pay the cheese tax.
Gotta pay the cheese tax.
It's true.
Exactly. But he takes 1 point of damage as well. But you all are still feeling the inspiring words from Ink from before. So those of you do barely anything as you stand back up. Around you, what you see is a square room. And the one side, I should say the right side of the room, is stone walls, just as you saw before. But as the left opposite wall, it's just black, as if like a black light or hole or curtain has been placed there. You see that there are steps leading downstairs, but looking down there, it looks like it leads into a black hole of some kind. You can try to see what's down there if you want, but you don't see anything past this kind of 10 feet. They're just like this blackness, as well as a pathway forward if you so choose. What would you like to do?
Are we together or all separate?
Oh,
We
I'm
all
so sorry.
separated.
You look around, everyone except for Ireland and Andrina are inside of this room.
Oh shit, we lost them.
This isn't good.
They say we should never split up a circle.
Well, we hardly had control over our separation.
That's true.
I suppose our best chance is to find this golem, get out, and see if our friends also make it through. Oh no.
Sorry for activating that rune. I was trying to read it and I must have accidentally set it off. Apologize for my hasty error.
It's not your fault. Literally any one of us could have possibly even stepped on it accidentally, doing the
Yeah.
same thing. So
It feels
don't
like
blame yourself.
feels like even a sneeze could have triggered that. So sensitive. Just a little wind, a little prestidigitation wind. Sensitive trap, I say.
And we were
Thank
so
you.
caught off guard that even I and Big Steve couldn't keep our footing. Well, at least no one was too dangerously harmed by a mistake.
All right, let's press on.
Which way?
It seems the pathway goes south.
How dark is it in here, Dungeon Master?
Oh, it's the torches have lit up. It's brightly lit by the torches as you have entered. You can either go down the staircase, or that leads into some type of abyss, or continue forward, which looks to be a door of some kind at the other end of the hall, about 50 feet ahead.
I guess maybe I should check out this next door.
Yeah, I'll investigate these weird dark stairs.
Sure.
I'm gonna-
Sully.
yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, Sully, before you go to the door, be careful, and I will touch my arcane focus and then touch you, and you feel this calculating presence as I cast guidance.
Oh man, does that mean I have double guidance on me?
Oh no, it's only for one.
Well, I could use a little boosty
Yes, of
boost
course.
looking at the steps.
Of course, yes. As you examine those, you'll feel my lash behind you at all times, pushing you in the right direction. You feel a sort of ominous force looking over you, as if to guide you with force. And I cast guidance.
Nice.
Love it.
Ooh, it stings a little.
It's quite a force.
Not mad. Can I run like an Arcana check to see if this dark is like magically put in place and if it can be dispelled?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, sure.
Amazing. I'm gonna
Wait, don't roll it yet.
Yeah, I won't. I would never.
And we have Sully, who is checking out the door with Zendaric's guidance, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, so
You're cleared for landing.
Thank you. Boop. Ugh.
That's bad.
Well,
I crack
Nope.
my whip immediately at the sight of a failed check.
And like the whip cracking was great. It was you got a full marks on the whip crack. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I make you remake that check.
Amazing.
Oh. Okay. Nice.
Do I need to wait for your guidance again, or will it still go?
We'll keep the 4 and just re-roll the
Spend
Okay.
that guidance.
That was just yeah.
Love it.
Oh.
24, baby.
24. Man, like just a whip crack after another whip crack from Kievon as you are scared to get close to it, Ink, as it does give you a sense of foreboding as you get closer to this kind of this abyssal looking darkness. As the second whip crack, you snap into your senses and begin inspecting it. You do get the sense of, with just an Arcana check, it is foreign. It feels like anti-magic, if that's something. Like it has an arcane like nature to it, a supernatural feel, but it's not a magic that you would have normally felt.
I do not propose going down these stairs. I don't think we'll like what it would do to us. Magically, I mean. How's that door looking, Sully?
Well, just get into it now. And I would like to do my own investigation on this next door with Zendark's guidance.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh,
19.
no guidance.
Oh,
Do
roll
I
the
have to
D4.
roll a
Yeah,
roll
roll
a
the
D4?
D4. Yeah.
Why did it not go?
I don't know.
All right, that is a dirty 20. Very nice. Sully, you begin checking the door. The door is like the first one that you came into, almost tablet-like in a sense. You get the sense that it looks like there are grooves where this has opened up in the path the same way that the one that you entered in did. Though this one, you can now knowing that there's possibly hidden messages on top of these doors, you begin to look even more intently into the door and begin to analyze the shapes and within the carvings, and you get the sense that these are numbers that have been carved onto the door. And with your dirty 20, it looks like the numbers. Let me just pull open my notes for that. Ah. 1147, and then the letter E, and the number 2. 1121, the letter E, the number 1, and finally 1221, the letter E and the number 2.
Interesting. And that's all that I really can suss out of the door. Like this 3 sets of numbers. Do I see where the almost the button would be for it?
Yes, and you do easily can find the button as well to open up the door when you're ready.
Okay. I shout back to the party. Everybody, come over here. I might need some more critically arcane minds. There's some numbers here, and I'm not exactly sure what they mean. It might be directions for numbers of paces, but I'm not 100% sure.
That door's probably better than these stairs. I'm coming.
I'm gonna go help.
Okay.
Do these numbers or sequence sort of strike anything to me?
Roll
As-
me a history check or a straight intelligence check.
To a dirty 20.
You guys are
I'm
going
proficient
hot.
in history.
Dang.
These numbers, they're dates.
I'm a sequence prophet. Dates are kind of my thing.
Exactly. Yes, these are dates. Ancient dates. I would say even with the Dirty 20 surmise that the E probably means era. And these are dates within era 1 and era 2, which you know you are in era 3 right now.
When Kievan and Ink make their way over, I'll have been pondering this for a moment, and I'll say, well, it's obvious that the E's stand for era. This is an era 2 scripture date. This must be referencing something in era 1, era 2. At least I remind you, we're all in era 3 now.
Do you think it's like different times that people were here?
It would be quite strange for someone to show up in Era 2, and then someone else show up in Era 1, and then someone show up again in Era 2, considering the order.
Right. They could be predictions of astronomical events, or perhaps great moments in history. I'm trying to think through my studies, but the dates, they're just so cryptic. They're not normally written like that. It was not obvious. Do you have any thoughts? Have you encountered these before? Maybe any stories of the past that align to these?
May I also try a history check to see if maybe any of these dates ring a bell?
Certainly, go right ahead.
Cool beans.
Are you trained in history?
Nope, but I'm gonna try anyway.
Okay.
Nope, we don't keep track of the passage of time in the same way in my colony.
A 4. Ugh. Yeah. These. Nope. You have no idea. This is like only like a historian would know something like this.
Can I take a look and roll insight against the actual engravings and tell if they were done by the same person or different people?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an insight.
I mean, with the way the elves and stuff live, there's no telling how long something could have lived and done these.
True.
An 11.
An 11. You begin to inspect it, and it looks like this was probably not the original make. Like, it wasn't, the door wasn't carved with this in mind. Something came by and carved it in there. Whether or not it was a different person or same people, you're not sure, but definitely wasn't the original makeup of the door.
Well, it may seem obvious, but this door didn't come pre-chiseled.
The mighty Kievan has spoken.
He has.
I was unaware that pre-chiseling was an option.
Well, we can definitely wager that the golem didn't chisel this in the wall. If it did, our problems are far more complicated than we imagined.
Do you think we just remember these numbers and dates and try to just push forward and see if something pops up along our path? We can't just stay here all day.
No. Well, I did write the dates down, so if we need them for reference, I have them in the case file.
Sounds good. I concur. We should press on.
I push on the magical looking button that's like part of the door and like get it to pop open.
Okay. You depress it as it slides open. As you step forward, you're in a similar room with another staircase leading down with the same type of, like, almost identical. As you slide through, as the last person walks through, the door closes. The only thing different about this room that you do notice is that, I should say, it's a big difference, is that there are several bookcases with old parchments inside of them. It looks like if you're not careful, they will just turn to dust. That's how ancient they are. In the center of the room, there looks to be a sort of... what is the, and this is my own ignorance, the term for like when there's a like an observatory looking thing to show all like the planets and
Orrery?
oh yes, thank you, that's it. There is an orrery showcasing what looks to be celestial bodies in the center of the room. Other than that, there looks to be no other way out.
Is there a way to move the stars? Is there a way to like adjust them to correspond to dates?
So as you walk up towards this, you can see that yes, there's what looks to be a very large yellow, which you can assume to be a sun like symbol, and around like, and it goes around like in a disc. Behind that, there looks to be more of looking something that you could surmise is a moon, as well as several planets that are in several different positions, and each of them have a little latch that you can spin and turn and adjust them around.
Fascinating. This is... DM, can I ask a question because I don't want to sound stupid? I thought it is established in Era 3 that this is a flat plane. Or are we a planet? Because I remember Zeki asking about that. So, like, we would be bamboozled if we found, like,
Yes.
that there was an orrery.
Right. That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. It is a flat plane, as you know, of Error 3. Lots of information, like, specifically things in Dark would be more of, like, these dates. A lot of information pre-Error 3, so Error 2 and 1, is lost. And so even having this much is, like, a...
Right. I think, so I would sort of say, I've only read about these in books. This is an orrery. This is like a diagram of celestial bodies, apparently, but like this is strange to see it of this magnitude.
Where would we be?
I mean, well,
This implies a lot of things.
right. I think, well, I mean, I'll like sort of walk around a little bit and adjust myself. If, you know, my books and history are to be told, this is clearly our star. This is a moon circling this planet, and we have a moon now, so I would think this orb would represent us, which is flies totally in the face of what we know today.
Well,
we have 3 stations, right? To like, or is it just the one to put in?
You are able to, let's put numbers. There are 7 things that you can augment. So we'll say there are that obvious sun, the moon are 2, as well as several other bodily, so we'll say 5 other celestial bodies that could be planets. Those of you who are not keen in the astronomy, because as Zendarik had pointed, this is ancient, you probably won't know exactly what they are, but over the
I've not heard of this before, really. You know, I've heard people or read about people that created these objects to help track how things moved, but it's just so foreign. This concept is not one we have entertained for many years.
Amazing. So what you're saying is that this cave, this dungeon that we were in, might have information prehistoric as well.
Right. Why hasn't she told people about this sooner? This is an amazing find. We must be very careful with everything in here.
Yes. One of the many a key discovery made by us will surely put our names into the history of Greymore itself. Just a small footnote beginning, I guess.
If we get out of here alive.
We'll also have to rewrite the contract and say that O'Malia paid us above board, because if this is a discovery for the ages, I don't think the Fractal Sanctorum will like that we were going to barter for toys.
No! Why did you? Oh God, I can't. We can't afford to lose our scholarship to this school.
I highly doubt the school will kick us out for making a brand new discovery.
True, we can use it as leverage.
Yes, the exceptional discovery has also always made the room in history for forgiveness.
We'll have to walk a fine line.
Right, let's take the books, all of them.
Careful.
DM, are there any other like tables with objects or anything on them, or is it just like a bunch of bookshelves?
Is there a golem in the room?
You don't.
Is there a golem in the house? Hello?
Roll me some
Anyone?
perception checks, and we'll see how much you see.
Perception.
These dice are getting very close to jail.
Boop. Mine too.
I'm doing all right.
Twinsies.
So I've got the eagle eye goggles on. They give me advantage on perception checks that involve using eyes.
Okay. Using eyes.
Well, yeah, you can make perception checks like we did earlier about the smell of,
Yeah.
of the chemicals. Wow. If I had taken that one, dice jail. 16.
All right, so 16 for Kayvon, 14 for Zendaric, 9 for Ink, and 9 for Sully. So the things that you naturally see over are the several different bookcases, and then just orrery in the middle. No other doors, and the door behind you has slammed shut. Everything looks old and ancient, and like you're afraid one touch will make it crumble. Kayvon, you don't, I would say, you begin to look around and start to see that the books and everything on there do have strange inscriptions written on them, very ancient as well, and it looks to be almost like a library of sorts. Nothing else kind of pops out other than that. So what would you like to do?
I want to grab a book, but I'm so scared.
I'm gonna grab a book. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Or like one that's like on a desk or something that might be open. Like, can we read?
Yeah, you can totally go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you all just grabbing a book?
Like we'll
Yes,
gravitate where
well-
Kievan's going and look at what he's picking up.
Okay.
Also, I would like to specifically see if there's any like open books or anything around that orrery, because maybe they are like instructions that someone like happened to leave open to the page kind of thing, and this room just has been like left as almost like a time capsule of sorts, and maybe some indication on how to change the dates of the stars to potentially get out of this room.
Okay. So you're gonna go ahead and roll me an investigation check, because there's nothing really by the actual orrery itself, but you can fiddle around and look at what's there and see if you can surmise how it works. Certainly.
Come on, dude.
An 11. So you notice that it turns, and as it does, you all can hear like a cranking sound, like go go go. Because this is a large piece of metal. As you go ahead and pull it, and it adjusts what looks to be each corresponding celestial body. They are on different tracks, so it does like overlap each other and things like that. But it's pretty simple how everything works. So you get a sense that you can alter this however you would like within the combinations available. Kievon, so you go ahead and are inspecting the book. So you walk on over and just grab one of the books, one of the heftier looking ones, very carefully as you turn the page. It looks to have all types of recorded information, information from a time long forgotten, using... It looks like it's written in common, but in a very almost archaic common language that it's really hard for you to, without probably a spell to translate it, hard to understand. Are you looking for anything in particular? It looks like all these books have some type of bits of like recorded information in them.
Just kind of get a reading for it to kind of see what kinds of books are here. Like, for example, are these all historical records? Are these all instructional manuals? Are they perhaps magical guidance books? What kind of book am I looking at here?
Okay. You said roll a perception. Yeah, roll me an investigation check really quick and any of you can aid him if you want. You're all kind of huddled over inspecting this, if you would like, unless you want to do something completely separate.
Where he's sort of stumbling and like uttering out, I'm gonna correct him with the proper word because I can read this perfectly. So I'd like to give him the help action, help him in roll at advantage.
Okay. Ooh. All right.
And 19.
19, pretty good. So you two of you are kind of going through and perusing the books very carefully because they are very frail. And you get the sense, so you kind of go through the books and then you go pull out another book carefully. And you notice these are all books ascertaining to dates, mostly because Dark was helping you because he's a historian. Now you're understanding these are recorded dates in history. And particularly with your 19, you find that on the date 1147 era 2, a cataclysmic event happened in the second era, and it makes mention of the celestial bodies, like the state. It says that when it goes on and says, actually it specifically says, when the brightest star meets with the darkest of nights, and star-crossed lovers kiss, blotting out, all light will be blot out, and the doorway will be open. And the doorway was open, sorry. And this is 1147 era 2.
That's date number 1. So should we move the stars into position for that date? Maybe?
Oh, go ahead, Sully. Did you find something?
No, I think that makes the most sense what you're saying there, Ink. So the brightest star meets with the darkest of nights. So it sounds like some sort of
a shadow. right?
Lunar eclipse of some sort.
Meta. Know what an eclipse is.
You generally, yeah, it still happens on the flat plains.
Okay, cool.
I'm not well versed in my flat earther mythology, but
Yeah.
I believe they still believe in eclipses.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it still happens because you still have like the astral plane and then the orb and everything behind the history of like the flat plane you're in. So you,
We're just the disc. Everything
yeah,
else is what's
exactly,
above us.
exactly.
Yeah,
So-
I would love to see a flat earther on an eclipse day being like, that's not real. That's not real. That's a lie. Love it.
Well, if it is a greatest of stars, then perhaps it is a solar eclipse.
Did you find some levers to move this? Or buttons, perhaps, to activate it?
I'm gonna look for that. Is there anything on, like, I want to look at the sun one and see if there's any way to move it in a way that I would know if I have put it at 1147E2.
In terms of how to correspond the date with the numbers, is not clear. So you can move it around, but how it can be 1147, there's no clues that are here that kind of alleviates to that.
Is there a particularly bright star that we can see in the sky in the display at this point?
Yeah, you would get the sense probably the brightest star would probably be that large sun-like star compared to the other smaller-looking ones. That is like right at the center.
And when we like move the dates, it stays in the same spot, or does it move?
Well, you can move each celestial body by hand if you want.
Oh. Huh.
So there's no like time or there's no like dates written there. It's just these 7 celestial bodies that you can alter and move them each around. The biggest star, if you were looking for that, would be this sun one.
Cool. I'm gonna touch the sun one and try and move it around and like maybe wiggle it a little like left and right just to be like, where does it move along the ceiling, I guess, is where it's being projected.
Yeah. It goes around.
I touch it. Do I die?
You touch it, nothing happens. Sully was playing with it around, so Sully has a good idea. You can move it around the entire circle, so technically it can go behind, or I should say, well, in front, depending how you're looking at it, of all the other celestial bodies if it wanted to. And each of them can do the same. It's just that they continue outward. Within the center one, you are moving the sun.
So it's a heliocentric model.
Yeah.
We should be moving the objects. All right. So I propose, I'm in accordance with you, Ink. I think let's move these orbs such that they line up. And at the brightest, can you repeat the line?
Sure.
Yeah.
The line was, the brightest of stars meet the darkest of nights.
Meets the darkest of nights. I think that because, like, when we shine light on an object, a darkness comes behind it. So I think that we need to create some form of shadows to create this darkest of nights.
Would someone be willing to stand at the I believe the moon station, and let's see if the two of us can move sun and moon to be in the same spot? Possibly. I don't know. I'll be on sun duty.
All right, I'll go over to the moon then.
Ink's gonna try and position the sun in like the center of the situation as best they can, and then go, can you move the moon to the center top of the ceiling?
Yes, and I'll try and push it so that way it rotates into closer to the sun and then blocking the planet.
Got it. So you have the sun, and then in front of the sun is the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go ahead and turn it. It locks into place. You turn the moon, blocking it out, and then there is a visible shadow that shoots out of the, like a light, almost like a light that just magically precipitated there, as there's a shadow casting on all the other. It would say it was kind of an opening, so it's not casting the shadow on anything, but it's just kind of casting it onto the orrery itself. But other than that, nothing else happens.
Are you sure you don't have that backwards? Like,
No,
it's
I'm not
talking
sure.
about the darkest of nights, meaning the moon would be blotted out. So I think in this instance, our world gets between the sun and the moon, blocking the light reflecting off of the moon's surface, which is technically, I think, what we're seeing. If we are trying to get super technical here.
All right, so I'll push this one back. Are you going to rotate this orb? Meaning planet.
Yeah, it's very strange. I've never thought about our world as a little ball, but I guess there's a first for everything. Crazier things have been said. And I
Fuck you for making us be flat earthers.
It's a flat plane!
Flat planers. Okay, let's move these
And
orbs.
I moved this spheroid plane
Let's try and swap them, yeah.
in front of the moon.
Okay, so you have the next one over.
Yeah.
And place it in between the moon and the sun. Thereby, one side has light and the other can see nothing. As in, like, one side of it is getting pure sun, the other one is just kind of getting black darkness with no moon. It all locks in place. The orrery kind of folds out of into itself, pressing onto the ground before sealing shut, and there's nothing there.
Oh no. We locked it away. What happened?
A doorway should be opened. What about the way we came in? Is it open again? I turn to see the entrance of where we came in, or did we notice any other possible exits before?
Well, roll me a perception check, please, Sully.
Oh goodness, I don't like that. That's an 18 with my new bubblegum grapefruit dice.
An 18. Okay, not bad. You heard, and then you kind of turned for a moment in that direction, like a click sound coming from one of the opposite walls. The other door's still there, still looks fine, but you heard a sound as something unlocking, though everything else just looks like a wall. But you get a good sense of where you heard it come from.
I think I heard something over here, and I go and check it out.
Sure. You go over and check out, and what is everyone's passive perception?
My passive perception.
15.
15. Okay.
11?
Okay, 11.
13.
13. You'll see on your sheet, on your main thing, it says PERC, that number.
No.
So you said 13 for Kievon, 15, pretty good, for Zendark, 11 for Ink, and what was it for Sully?
That's what I'm trying to find. Is it on the first page on the main?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's above your speed to the right a little bit.
I'm such a goof. I'm sorry. 12.
12, okay. Zendark, you're the only one who notices, as everyone's following Sully, is that a ooze-like substance of kind of like a dark black or purplish coloring. It starts to bubble out where the orrery was, and becomes thicker and more viscous as it spreads across the ground about 15
What is that?
feet.
What is that? Stop! I'm gonna back up a few feet. There's oozing out. I don't have light. I will point it out with my mage hand. I'm gonna call forth my mage hand, and this like illusory, like a gossamer hand is gonna just be pointing down at this ooze that's bubbling out and sprawling across the floor.
Okay. You go ahead and point out, and all of you quickly notice as spreading across the large floor is this ooze substance that, like, as it begins to move, leaves what looks to be small skeletal remains of whatever the heck it possibly was digesting as skeletons get sprawled onto the ground as the ooze begins to grow larger and larger, becoming a gelatinous-like cube-shaped creature as it kind of like you hear like a bobbling sensation like, as it begins to shake and its tendrils shoot out, and I'll need everyone to roll me initiative.
We must stop this beast before it destroys all these artifacts.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal the map for everyone. But let me just make sure I put everything in the right spot.
Where do I roll for initiative in?
Oh, so if you open up your sheet, you should be able
Main
to
page.
go to INT on main. And just kind of double click the number in INT.
Oh, got it. Aha.
Alright, let me make sure I am on the right stuff.
Y'all really wanted to fight, didn't you?
Hold on.
Yespits and Dark is right. We must protect these tomes at any cost. They are history in the making.
Let's put you there. I'm just placing you all on the map.
The history of us becoming part of history for having found them.
I thought that's what you meant.
And Big Steve, there we are. Alright, let me just go ahead and share the map now for the audience. And now for all of you. There we are. Okay, so go ahead and place the ooze onto the combat tracker. And reveal it so you can see it. Oops. Come on, don't do this to me. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. And reveal it so you can see it. Alright, can everyone see the ooze? No, sorry,
Yep.
the cube that's in the center of this square. Okay. So, let's go ahead and see what the initiative is. We have... we have Big Steve, who rolled a 21 in his initiative, going first.
Well, he shares his turn with me.
Oh yeah, he
so-
shares his turn with you. That's right. So it's just so he goes in on 11. So I'm gonna go ahead and move him then. All right. So we have still going first, Kayvon and Big Steve with an 11, followed by Ink with a 10, Zendark with a 7, then Sully, did you roll in it?
Psh, I rolled a 20.
It did not pop up, so let's go ahead and try again.
What? It is right above Kevins. Kevins.
No, I got you. All right, so we'll
I'm
say
not
this
getting rid of
again.
that 20.
20 for Sully,
Can
then
you put it back
Kayvon.
on the combat tracker? Because I think that's why my thing didn't work. It was like on the guidance, remember?
He's on combat tracker now.
No, can you like put him back? Like take, because sometimes it doesn't link.
Oh, take him off and put him back on. Yeah, I could do that.
Right.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Is that why I wasn't showing up before, you think?
Maybe.
That makes sense now.
All
Because
right.
I saw you like put it on me
Right.
in the chat. Yeah.
And I looked and it was the same exact wording that Adam did for Ink, so that's why I was like, what?
All right, so now we have Sully with a 20, followed by Kayvon
okay.
and Big Steve, followed by Ink, then Zendark with a 7, and then last is the Janatlas Cube with a 1. Alrighty, so let's get this started. Sully, you are up. This now cube has appeared, leaving off all this, like as it spread out and like reformed itself, leaving all this debris of lost souls that it consumed. What do you all do next? Oh, what do you do next, I should say?
I'm going to see this thing after Zendark brings it to my attention. Shout to the group, I'll keep this with my Hunter's Mark. And I cast Hunter's Mark on the cube. And I will then, for my regular action, I guess I'm going to have to move up a little bit, or from where I'm standing, am I still going to be able to strike this gelatinous cube? I'm not exactly sure on its spacing.
Actually, technically, it's right there.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, then I'll just draw my rapier and swing at it. Try to cut into this thing a little bit. With the Hunter's Mark, so let me try to cast that. Error. Effect dropped on target, which is not listed in the combat tracker. So now it's not. So it should just do it to myself, right?
What is it trying to do?
So now I'm not in the combat tracker somehow.
Let's try to remove you and re-add you again. So, try it now.
No.
Not on the map, on the combat tracker.
Yeah, I removed him. Here, let me just completely remove you from there. Re-add you from scratch. Okay, what about now?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure it worked because I was like, you spent so much time coding this stuff. Perfect. So now that that's in effect, I will take the rapier and attack this gelatinous cube. Well,
A 9 hits.
a 9 does hit.
Roll damage.
So that's 15 points of damage.
Nice, 15 points of damage.
And that should be it for my turn. I'm gonna kind of wave my rapier and, with my other offhand, just kind of like hold it back, like in like a feigning protection to my companions. Stay back! Stay back!
Alrighty. So you go ahead making your slash, thereby damaging the strange cube as pieces of it come off as it begins to like kind of whoosh, like whip at you as you're holding it back with your dagger. As Kayvon, you are up next with Big Steve.
I very quickly run over to Big Steve, mounting him, hopping on the back of Big Steve. Big Steve, into combat! And I will, with the flash of my whip, I will crack it as as a sound reverberates from it. Ring now the funerary bells! Pow! And I cast. Hold on. I cast. Toll the Dead.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. I'm like, are there any limits on what it doesn't affect? Point. Nope. It's all sorts of things. It has to make a Wisdom 13. Oh, Wisdom 14, I think, because our saves are up by 1.
Yes,
Wisdom 14 save, or bad stuff happens to it.
All right, I rolled an 18.
The bastard. What does it say on a save? Oh yeah, nothing happens on a save. So I crack the whip and the bell sound rings out, but no results occur.
Alrighty. Do you do anything in movement? So we'll say you jump up on your steed. Getting on, he does have his movements. He can run around or do whatever you would like as well.
Yes, and Big Steve will take the dodge action and will move us to here.
Perfect.
And that's my turn.
I'll go ahead and put Big Steve with you. Alrighty, so you all see as the bells start to ring as he tolls the dead. It does not affect the cube. That doesn't seem to react to the noise. Hopping onto Big Steve, you continue to make your way across as up next is Inks and Dark. You're on deck.
Yes, sorry, I'm trying to put my map back correct. Hello? Map? Hello? Oh, this is a nightmare. While I fix my map, Ink is going to pull their lute in front of them and start strumming, and they are going to cast Sacred Flame at this gelatinous cube. So please, gelatinous cube, make a dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty, your DC is going to be +1. So go right ahead and target and hit that save button.
Target?
You can control left click the cube itself or the cube inside of the combat tracker.
What? Hello?
Would it be easier, Omar, if she just exits it out and then gets it reshared?
Sure. Did you need me to close and reopen the map for you?
I'm clicking target enemy units and it's not doing it for me.
You have it targeted.
Yeah.
Do I? It doesn't show that I have it targeted, which is fun for me.
On the combat tracker, it shows it.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, you have it targeted. I see it.
Cool. Awesome. Then do that thing where it saves. I don't know. What am I doing?
And the next
little
spell.
cog icon.
Yeah.
There's like a little cog icon that will open up the spell window, and then on your spell list, in your actions tab,
Aha.
and then you can click the save button. That's the name of the spell. Click the little cog icon that opens the.
Let's see. I'll take a quick look. You
Oh,
have...
got it. The little dice button.
All right, it failed.
Amazing. Now it has. Haha. It needs to take 1d8 radiant damage. 7, please, of radiant damage.
Nice. How do you cast your spells?
Well, I'm strumming my lute, and conjuring down through the striking of chords, this fire that just descends on this cube and hits it.
Okay, as the cube just kind of shifts left and right, wheeling in pain after being struck by your divine flames. It still looks healthy, but you see pieces of it falling off. As anything else you do? You still have your movement.
I'm gonna stay back. Most of the stuff I can do is pretty far range, so I'm good. Right here.
Alrighty. Up next is Zendaric. The cube's on deck.
I heed Sully's word and stay back as he puts his hand up, and as he does, all right, I will pull out my arcane focus and like Rubik's cube, like change a few of the faces, and a orange ember starts to erupt on the inside. And as it does, I'll sort of tap on the air these sequence of sigils, and a firebolt will fly out from my focus over Sully's shoulder at the cube.
Nice. And looks like the gods are aiding you, as the light of the 9 have blessed you with advantage on any roll you so choose. As a
Oh,
group
sweet.
roll. Thanks.
Oh, for the group? Okay, we'll see if we save it for need it for later. Why is it not letting me? Okay, there we go. And I have the bonus already. 18.
Nice. 18's a hit. Roll damage. Ooh.
10!
Max damage.
Max damage. Okay, so this fire smashes into it.
All right. The Reaper's cube forms around, blasting off a flame as it strikes the gelatinous cube, part of it melting down onto the ground. You see it dissolving the earth beneath its feet. Or cubed sides.
Don't let it move! I will end my turn here.
Alrighty, it is the cube's turn. So the cube is going to attempt to move forward towards Sully and engulf him as it goes and tries to engulf you. Can I please have you, Sully, make a dexterity saving throw?
Don't like that. Don't like that. That is a bunch. Should be an 18.
Nice. You nimbly jump out the way as you are forcibly moved aside as the cube moves up to the spot that you're at, pushing away, leaving a little bit of like acidic ooze down your shirt that you quickly wipe off as it pulls forward closer
This
to
is a
everyone.
new shirt.
It will then form tendrils out and whip and attack Zendaric.
Not our squishiest of boys.
No, not the coat! Not the coat!
As it will make its attack with its pseudopod.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my goodness! Natural 1!
Hey.
You're just like, not the coat! And just gonna duck out the way as it slashes and hits the ground beneath, dissolving any of the bones that it had left when it had spread out originally.
This cube's a real square.
Yeah, it gets to only one attack. And that will end the gelatinous cube's turn.
Excellent.
So that we go top of the round. Sully, it's your go. You see the cube still in front of you. There's still somewhere on the other side of this room, the door that you are latched, if you want to look for that, but the choice is yours. What do you wish to do next?
Like this cube has now pushed me back up against this wall. I see that we're doing, some damage to it, and we're getting in the hits. So seeing my companions and we're all kind of doing fine right now, I grit my teeth and take my rapier as I try to stab into the gelatinous cube, piercing its gelatin body, trying to get it to like back off a little bit, and this will include sneak attack if I land the hit.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll that attack.
So there's sneak attack. Is Hunter's Mark still on me? Let me see. I
Yeah,
usually
you do
don't.
that each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's a 19.
19 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, dealing 11 damage to the gelatinous cube. I think that's all I'm going to do right now. Yeah, that's my turn, I think.
All right, so standing your ground, you out there slashing at it. More pieces fall off as you just see it wiggle in pain. As Kayvon, Big Steve, you're up next.
A question: if we get like on opposite sides of someone, do we provide advantage or?
Yes, in my campaigns, if you do flank, you get advantage.
Awesome. I'm gonna get to the opposite side here. I've got a whip, so I've got
You have
a
the
little
reach.
bit of reach. But
Yes.
I'm actually going to pull back my whip and then let's see, and it's cool. I'm going to spin my whip over my head as bones slide up it until a claw of hands forms the top of it, and I go bow to the power of the undead. Take this, chill touch, and I cast chill touch. Padak. Oh, awesome. That's an automatic miss, but I'm a halfling.
Oh.
I will use my halfling luck to re-roll that.
That is awesome that you roll so many ones that you get to use this ability.
I know, ones happen all the time.
That's a lot better.
Wow.
That's so much better.
21. That's a hit. Roll damage, please.
3 points of damage as
3
the skeletal hands claw at the gunky ooze.
Nice. As you go ahead and whip, you crack off this chilling touch, and on top of the damage, doesn't it get affected by something else? Can't heal or
Yes,
something there?
it can no longer heal until my next turn.
Got it. Okay. As it wiggles in pain, whoosh, as it gets hit, you manage to damage the creature. Anything else you wish to do? You still have a little bit of movement left. Actually, a lot of it. You only move 5 feet.
No movement yet left to take, but Big Steve takes the dodge action.
Alrighty. It's gonna move Big Steve right next to you, but he's basically on your same square because you're riding him.
We share.
Exactly. Alrighty, and he takes the dodge action. So, up next, Ink, followed by Zendark. Ink, you are kind of pinned behind here. You can pass through your allies, though it will be difficult terrain, or you can stand here and face off against this cube. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna say, "You look like a real fool." Cube, and I cast Vicious Mockery at it.
Alrighty. So you're...
Spell save against.
Man, this thing is running high when it spell saves.
Damn, fine.
Ugh.
And I'm not considered flanking, am I? So I can't roll again.
I thought so, right?
You are, but is this a this is not like a melee, this is like a normal attack.
Just a normal. Cool.
Yeah, spell
cool,
attack.
not very good at throwing insults. So, we.
You insulted, they had a very good self-esteem.
It was like, I'm on fire. It's fine.
All right. Unfortunately, it does
That's
not take.
all I got.
All right, so you spit your insults, but it doesn't have any ears. You get the sense. You're not sure. It doesn't take any of your insults to heart, or does it? As it does wiggle a little bit upset, and maybe its eyes has been pointed towards you. I'm not sure exactly how they see. Senses. Zendarik, you're up.
I'm going to turn to Ink and be like, "You're doing great. I thought it was funny." I'm just gonna, and then as I do that, I'm going to, my body starts to look like starlight and evaporate, and then I'm going to face step across the room.
Wow.
You're doing great. I'm just gonna.
You're like, bye!
And then just disappear over on the other side of the room.
Cool.
We'll take care of it, Ink.
And with that, once I land, I'm going to quickly turn and pivot. And since I already have my arcane focus in sort of fire mode, I'll hit the sequence for my firebolt runes to activate, and I will cast firebolt. 24.
24 hits. Nice. Roll damage.
Let's see. If we get another 10. Oh, that was so
Oof.
close. 8. 8 more points of fire damage.
Nice. 8 points of fire damage. Blast onto this creature. The creature is looking pretty weak as more parts of it is falling down. Anything else you wish to do in your turn?
No, it's Cube's turn.
Alrighty. The cube is going to go. The cube is going to attempt to engulf both Ink and Sully, as I need you to make me dexterity saving throws as it attempts to suck you into itself. Okay, a 12 from Sully. And a 19 from Ink. Those are both successes. As you are shifted over one space, sliding by as the ooze moves forward a little bit in an attempt to suck you in, but you're too nimble. It will then stretch out and strike at...
Dungeon Master, if it moves over there, it would provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yes, you're right. Please, if you wish, you can use your reaction. Good call.
Does it have advantage? But I feel like once they moved Ink and Sully to the side, I would not have advantage.
I would say it would be at the same
right?
time. I'll give you advantage. Same thing in melee, since you're making a
Awesome.
melee attack.
Thank you, oh gracious one.
Nice, a 16 hit. Roll your damage, please. 5 points of damage. Nice. Crack off. A good chunk of the creature falls down as it goes to then send out a pseudopod and whip it to his left, striking at our feline friend. So that is going to be... a 15 versus your AC.
My AC?
Yes.
That's gonna hit.
Alrighty. That is going to be... 15 points of acid damage as it begins to burn and sin at your flesh, and your
Ow.
well-tailored suit begins to eat away. Alrighty. So that ends the gelatinous tube's turn. Ink is looking pretty hurt after that strike. But the cube is looking weak as well. It's definitely gotten smaller in size due to your attacks. As top of the round, Sully.
Hey, if you want to mess with somebody, mess with me over here. As I try to distract the gelatinous cube from making any more attacks at Ink. And so I still have like the sneak attack and hunter's mark going on. I make another rapier attack at this gelatinous cube.
Alrighty.
13.
That hits, roll damage.
I love that the AC on this thing is like nothing because I have needed it for this encounter. 18 points of damage.
Nice. Cube is looking pretty weak. Man.
I think we're getting close to its end. A few more attacks should do it. And that's my turn.
Okay. Hearing that, Kayvon, Big Steve, it's your go. What do you wish to do?
I will bring my whip over my head and spin it around as I flash the sign of Leviathar, which called the Maiden of Pain. Even flesh bends to my will. Now heal, healing word. And he will the crack of his whip. He'll crack his whip at you, Ink, and he will heal Ink by. Will it roll for me? I wonder. Healing Ink by. I'm just gonna drop it. Oops, I put it on the ooze. Take those hit points back from the ooze.
Okay.
No.
So not for you, Cube. Not for you.
Anti-damage, not the anti-damage.
The cube
Those
feels
are
healthy.
Ink's hit points.
Okay.
Give those the hit points to Ink.
Alright, so I will give Ink 6 hit points back instead.
Yes, things grow back in a very uncomfortable fashion, but they grow back. And with my actual action, I will move closer to the gelatinous cube, and I will crack that whip.
Nice. Go ahead and roll that attack.
That hit?
6 hits!
I was about ready to use my reaction, but like, no need.
For four dominance damage.
Nice. It hits hard, but it's easy to hit if it does hit. All right, nice. So you crack at it. You look like it was gonna wide. It's such a big surface area that it's hard to miss as you go ahead and strike at the gelatinous cube.
Yes, and Big Steve continues to take the dodge action.
Understood. Alrighty. Up next, we have Ink. Zindark, you're on deck. Still in the corner, Ink. Feel the healing powers of your cleric. What do you wish to do?
Amazing. I am going to take my 2 hands, rear them back, and clap as hard as I can at this gelatinous cube, sort of sending like this magical propulsive energy at it as I cast Thunderclap.
Ooh.
Damn it!
It's very constitutional, as it rolled a 23 on
Very
its success.
strong.
Now I will say, focus your thunder and pierce its innards and cast silvery barbs on the creature, so it has to re-roll its save.
All right, please roll that again, Ink. Ooh, a 7!
That is a failure. Now it must take 1d6 thunder damage. 2 thunder damage, please.
All right. takes 2 points of thunder damage as you strike it, and the reverberation causes ripples within its gelatinous form, and is looking like mere moments away from death. Anything else you wish to do?
Nope, that's it. I don't have any bonus actions.
All right. Zendaric, let's see. The cube looks reeling to go, ready to strike back at Ink, but can you fell it before it does? That is now your go.
The silvery words that left my breath a moment ago, I feel the energy return to myself, and I'll give myself advantage on my next attack roll as I say to myself, pierce it in the same way Ink just did, and look for the core, and I'll focus in and press the same sequence and throw a firebolt at this creature at advantage.
19 hits, roll damage.
Ooh, I hope it's enough. 7. Dying!
Describe your killing blow.
Okay, so as the as the energy returns to me, I can feel it sort of in power, but I can see that this was this clearly hits hard and Ink was hurt, so I quickly refocus the energy that I regained back into my arcane focus and sort of pump out a blue flame firebolt that does a little bit more than average normally, and it's enough to sort of burn away this gelatinous mass that's left, and it just sort of fizzles into like a gross steam in the room.
Alrighty, so as it begins, the heat, you all can feel the intensity of Zendaric's magic as it melts away the ooze, as you just see it like, and it kind of like squeals, like makes some type of weird sound of death as it bloop bloop begins to boil and evaporate, turning into nothingness. And the battle is over. Great job. I really did anything.
Yay!
Woohoo! We lived.
Alrighty.
Who tells our story?
So, you have escaped that strange trap or whatever creature that seems to have been collecting unlucky travelers who have traversed this interior. As Sully, you still remember that clicking sound from across the room. That will take us back to the dungeon view. What do you all wish to do next?
Can we inspect, or can I walk up and inspect where the ooze came out of to see if there's like more that could potentially come, or was it just like seeking shelter there, and like we like opened a door it was in?
It looks like, as you just free inspecting it, yeah, it looks like it was just like in there. Maybe it was trapped in there. Someone placed it in there, or maybe it was just like rested in there. Perhaps there's more of the sense of whatever these creatures are further in. You're not sure.
Ooh, I'd like to check the bones that were dropped by the gelatinous cube and see how fresh they are.
Sure. Just go roll me a medicine check.
That's a 19.
19, pretty good. You're not really sure on like the digestive rate of the cube, or not, or maybe it only starts when it's active, but it definitely was here for a while.
Do you think this was left here as sort of a trap for anyone trying to for anyone who got this far figured out what the dates mean?
Perhaps, but it didn't seem exactly like this was a trap set. I think it might have was just, and I'll point towards like the area it was. I think it was just like a warm, dark place for it, and when we moved it, it sort of shook it from its home and was reacting to us, sort of bothering it. I don't know if it was a trap per se, but that's not really my forte.
I see. DM, can I go back to that wall that I thought I heard stuff moving? Like, that's a different place from where the ooze came from, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to kind of look at that again,
Sure. Roll me a.
since we didn't get to before.
Go ahead and roll me a perception or investigation check.
Okay. Well, 13.
13. No, it's pretty good. You begin to inspect that area, and the DC is very low because you know that there's something here. And you slide your hand across, and yes, you feel something. Like when you inspected the room before, it wasn't obvious before, but now you definitely feel something was released as you press the button. And you all of a sudden, the door itself begins, I should say, the wall itself begins to shake as a section of it falls down, revealing a what looks to be a secret entryway that continues forward.
Hey, I think I found some sort of secret path. Maybe this will get us out of here.
Should we spend a little bit more time looking at these books, though, before pressing on?
Yes, I would like to actually take the books with me. You see, we can use a portable, we can use a bag of holding to carry them with us.
We do have the bag of holding. Omelia
What-
didn't say we couldn't put more things than just the core in there.
Yes, but I have my own personal bag of holding for my own personal needs that we can also use.
I think that Kievan, I think that is a great idea, but all of these finds are not yours to claim alone. I just want to pronounce that now, that anything that you read in those books is knowledge for our circle.
Yes,
Correct?
of course, and for Greymore as a whole. After all, I couldn't take the credit for research I myself had not performed. It's far less intimate.
All right. And I propose that we take a short rest here and gather these books and see if there's any other insights we can find from this room.
All right. So you guys decide to take a breather, seeing there's a path ahead of you, but before continuing, wishing to just peruse everything before you to gather any hints of what could be before you. And as you do that, Kievan, everyone, you're starting to go to your own sections. You begin reading. Kievan, you think you hear a strange sound, like a whisper in your ear.
My chosen, come to me. Come to me.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
It's gonna end us like that?
Wow.
That's the worst thing to hear.
Bebop.
Like, second only to we've been trying to reach you about your car insurance.
Right?
Oh my god.
Great session, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hope you guys had a great time. Had fun.
Yes, thanks so much.
Yeah. Now, everyone, of course, we will be back not next week because we are going to
PAX
PAX East, and then we're going to be doing like a Theros 2-shotter for the next 2 weeks. So we'll unravel this mystery with Kiav and all that when everybody returns on the Sunday after the 9th. I don't know. But that is the 16th. We're all back. Supposedly the 16th, but we'll make posts all about it. Before we head off, can we just go around and you could just state who you are and stay who you are, where we can find you, and then let's get some stars and wishes. Stars saying who gave you the ooh-ah-ahs, the love, everything that you want to do, and then wish of what you wish to have happen in the next session. So let's start off with Rachel.
Please find me on the internet under the name I am Rachel Quirky. Please check me out on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/I am Rachel Quirky. I'm playing games. I'm watching wrestling. I'm hanging out. We have great conversations. It's like a little cozy afternoon on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. I gotta give a star. I oh gosh, I'm gonna give my star to Zendaric for helping me immensely not die. And my wish is to see our friends Antrina and Ireland again. I miss them. That's my wish. Come back. I miss you.
Yes.
Come back.
I'm sure they're having their own side adventures, but when we come back, we'll be finding out what puzzles they're going to be going through. All right, awesome. So that is 1 star for Zendaric. So up next, Kieva Adam, where can we find you in your star and wish, please?
Hey, you can find me, because I'm one half of the Pun Brothers duo, at the Pun Brothers on TikTok. And my star would have to actually go to Ink for facing the shit out of facing, as we came in, drafted up a document at Zendaric's behest, came in, stopped anyone from overstepping our boundaries with the totally not entrapped gnome. So that's where my star goes. Though Zendarc was a close second if I had 2 stars.
Sweet. And your wish?
Oh, my wish is to have a touching and emotional moment with the robot that we was told was not alive, but we're totally gonna find out is alive.
Awesome. All right. And Zeki, anything you wanted to give, as well as your star and wish?
I want to give it my all every time we play. But you can find me at Zektown on almost everything on the internet, anything that matters to me in my life anyways. And other than that, stars and wishes, I think that I'm going to give my star to Kievan, because as a rogue, it is super important that I get to do sneak attacks. And I was able to do my first sneak attack of the campaign, I think, because I was given some good advantage from Kayvon. So that's like a huge thing for us rogues, and really appreciate that, being able to finally do that. And then my wish is going to have to be that I want to know when this dungeon was created, and I wish to like find some sort of greater conspiracy going on from maybe one of these other ages, because I think that all these books are here for a reason, and it's going to open our plot into something big and fun.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Travis, where any information that you wish to give and your star and wish.
All right, thank you. Yes, you can find me here on A Tale of D20s on Mondays. We're having a Radiant Citadel session tomorrow, so I hope to see you stop by 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, I am also a variety streamer at Zendark, the name you see here. I'm hoping to get back into that quite soon, so you can catch me when I come live playing some random video games. I like strategy and stuff. And my star, I think I was also planning on giving it to Ink for just running with me when I was like going into full professor mode with the with the contract and calming down and all of that too. So that was really good. That was quick thinking on your part. So that was my star, and my wish would be to find a tome that is in a ancient language, like a dead language, and find something old and ancient that might be cryptic and hard to understand, but something that's that I get to play with and sort of figure out.
Awesome, awesome. So by my tally, with 2 votes, that sounds like Ink, you received the star. So we'll go ahead and, oh, sad. Jakeev, I didn't use yours, but we'll get right to Ink. There we are. So now you will be able to roll at advantage or see a roll, see if it see the number before the result, and decide to re-roll it if you so choose, taking the higher.
Aw, it's so cute, this little star. Whee!
All right, so you can use that, and once and it goes away at the end of the session.
Oh crap! If I didn't use my star at the end of the session, it's over. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yo, where was that fine print before?
Damn those fickle stars.
Oh, did I not say that? But yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. You can catch everything at Atelier 20s at www.atelier20s.com. So I want to go ahead and see if we can raid. Looks like Advanced Dungeons is on, so let's go ahead and give them a raid. A great actual play as well. So I will leave you all off with this. From the first chapter to the last page, be kind to one another, spread love, give each other hugs, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye now, y'all.
Kisses.
Ooh.
Brow.
Cue the outro.
Wow.